And we are live. Hello everyone. Welcome to Whispers from the Atheneum presents session 29 of Echoes of the Forgotten. I know we should wait, but this is mainly for the vlogs until I can get a mixer to go. You'll have to deal with the delay. I'm using OBS once again, OBS Studio. I think I might have fixed the problem. I did a test earlier this morning and it seemed to run for past the time it usually stops to crash. But if it doesn't, there will be a small interim break where I need to go switch over to Streamlabs once again. But hopefully this works. If it doesn't, then I give up. Alright, so we'll have Darian begin explaining everything that happened in the last month ago past, because we're back from a month.
Last time on Echoes, the party fought a large collection of rubble with a cube in its center. After scaling the strange landscape and collecting the cube from the now less mobile pile of rubble, they moved to activate the console and hopefully close the gate. Working the cube and console together, something happened to the gate, but also the cube grew in size, and a cracked orb that turned out to be a lich's phylactery popped out. Not knowing what to do, they left the gate, camped out front of it, and waited for it to shut. It did not. And eventually they gave up and went back to the town of Idarma Undur, seeing that the undead mostly disappeared and the elementals were running a lot less rampant. One final portal remained open. So the party dealt with that, proceeded to bully a cinder slag back into its own plane. They began the journey back to Highview, and a few messages were sent off asking Azeroth about the gate and the phylactery. He said the gate would close off 24 hours once the console was used, and to not destroy the phylactery. They did not inquire further. Returning to Highview, they met with the High King yet again, and he sent them away with their heads still attached to their shoulders. Everyone talked about what to do next, and riding the Landburner back to Tel Nerus, and then probably heading over to the fiefdom to get a good look into what the gavel's going on over there, won out. So they boarded the Landburner and began the travel back across Voneutia.
It is currently the 16th of Locked. We're in the final month of summer now, for those who have not kept pace. We did have a couple of conversations that were relegated from the end of the last session. If they wanted to be done now or at some point during the session, just let us know. Did anyone want to have one of these on the 4-day trip on the Landburner?
Was intending for the one I was going to do on the Landburner, but yes.
Okay.
I mainly have a question is if we wanted to have the conversation involving Terra's reasons and wonders why she's with us before or after the Landburner. Or like on it, that's what I meant. If there was like any idea of what preferred.
It's up to you. You could have the conversation on the evening before you boarded, and you've got 4 days on the train to have the conversation.
I probably want to have the conversation when we were like grouped up that evening before leaving, if possible.
Okay, so we roll it back to the evening as you all, as some of you have discussed where you wanted to go next. The lot of you are sitting in the manor of Zarosh as the conversation dies down, and you're all ultimately deciding that the Absolem Fiefdom might be the way to go. That'll be without Jakova. Jakova did leave, I believe.
If I remember correctly, I basically insisted on sitting at the station until the Landburner was ready to go.
So the other 5 of you are all sitting around, at which point Christine sort of been quiet for the last little bit, so after mainly just listening, looks up and stares towards Terra.
There's kind of a bit of like after everything that's happened, especially after what I even like put out myself as well, like a little bit of hidden details, a little bit of something there. Just there's still like not confusion, but like the wondering what are you even doing here still sort of thing. Like just not really saying much for a little bit, seeing if like there's anything being fought on or anything like that. And if nothing's caught on, she does eventually like sort of speak up. That's what exactly are you sticking around with us or not? Just sort of looks towards Terra.
Well, I mean, that was the plan.
But you don't need to.
Yeah, but I want to.
Why?
Well, I mean, I've got nothing better to do. Life can be pretty boring sometimes. Like, we've shed blood together. We're pretty much family. Why would I leave family?
That's not how that works.
That's close enough.
No. What are you hoping to gain from this? You're some kind of shape changer. What are you trying to gain?
Quite literally nothing.
I want to make some kind of insight check on that to see if like there's anything held back or anything. If possible.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck me. I forgot about that mod.
Why isn't it visible?
It's just a mod that I'll probably disable on the break.
Okay.
Completely forgot about it
You rolled
instantly.
a.
It could be
Can I roll a
public somehow.
deception?
Sorry.
If you have
It
CV.
was a nat one.
Oh!
I was
Top
thinking
tier.
your brother. Yeah, no, she.
Hold on.
Oh.
You're gonna
Do it,
Oh,
Kim.
it's a
Oh,
Do it
fail.
already.
Come on, let's go another natural one.
Please.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then roll the table.
No one. Yeah, that's a thought.
Hey!
No, I don't like the because the more thoughts of like what like this whole just coming along thing is like sort of reminded me a little bit of Chef Gawardi in a way, but it's just kind of like the untrusting, like just I don't know what they're doing.
As you,
Why?
As you look at Terra, she's sort of not really picking up any hints or clues that she seems to be lying you anyway. She seems to be not even hiding anything. She seems to be blatantly honest. That or you cannot read her at all. Her personality is very different to yours as well, so it's kind of hard. You're very introverted. She seems a little more extroverted than you like.
Agreed. Just the kind of like almost a little cold stare at that, just like the kind of not believing it, but
Look, if you don't like me, I know the best way to resolve this.
what exactly are you thinking?
Big family hug.
Is this like being?
Do you
spoken in
approach me?
group, Or are you guys?
No, she
like,
just
off
put
the-
her up.
This is a group. This is a group.
Yeah, this is
a
right
group,
after a
yeah.
conversation of where are we going.
Yeah.
Selena is like writing stuff in her journal, but she's sort of looking up every now and then, just like. Fuck?
She
Just
looks
like,
down at her
okay,
notes.
Just keep reading.
She looks at her
Pretending
notes.
it's not happening.
Circles big hug ? I wonder what that feels like.
Ow.
Yeah.
Upon you saying that, by the way, she just goes silent. She doesn't like say anything, do anything. Like she's just almost feels like she's being played with. So she just stops.
Hey, Kim.
Yup.
Roll the table, please.
Thank you.
In the middle of a fucking train?
man.
No, this isn't the
Just
house.
before the train.
This is the hand, yeah.
Still have 4 days of Tides of Chaos if you want.
Oh wait, no, please don't.
You shitting me? Now is when you roll it.
Okay.
Hang on a second. Is
All
this
right.
the one that?
As you're like exasperated, like sighing, you close your eyes, and once again, you open your eyes, and you're in the stone room with this large table with 3 seats on it. 2 of them are occupied.
My heart.
One being an Earth Genasi you've seen before,
Fuck you.
and the other being a young, familiar-looking man wielding a sword that he took from you.
What? What? I'm sorry. I feel like for the first few seconds, for the first few seconds, I feel like I'd just be stunned, shocked, like, and almost pile of hatred. Like at just realizing, like first of all, I just saw the oracle. I'd see them, note that, and then as I turn to him in particular, it's just that building hatred. And there's no, I'm not really saying anything just yet. Wondering if there's going to be a response.
Seems to
He
be.
just sits there.
Yeah, go on.
He's looking at you from across the table, while the Genasi seems to sleep, as she did last time. And he just waits for a few beats. You've got one question. Ask away.
You have no idea how much I hate this. I just don't. She sort of closes her eyes for a bit, like probably like opens up one eye just to sort of make sure nothing's happening. Tries her damned hardest to calm down. I'm actually gonna make a check on this for save. Well, yeah, we'll make a save. I keep fucking forgetting. Just tell me if it's above like 8.
16.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Takes a quick breath. I'll be honest, I wasn't really expecting to be here. But fuck, I'm blanking on what I had. I had like 3 things in my mind. Sorry.
Yeah. He
So
sits
good.
and he's watching you. As like time passes while you're trying to figure your thoughts, he just like shifts a bit in his seat. And like you see Chrono Cutter basically resting up against the side of it.
It is smaller in this form. It's more of a long sword than it is the great sword that I saw before.
Fuck it. Let's go for the big hitting question first. I need the name. I need the name. I'm forgetting the name. Patron. I'm forgetting her name that she gave me.
Did you write it down?
I did, but I have to go looking for it. No, I'm skipping that one now.
We told you that you weren't going to ask any of the questions you wanted to.
Yeah, I know. What is the best way to stop whatever Devage stuff is happening and keep everyone alive?
He pauses for a moment, looking across from you. He seems a little like, you notice like his expression shifts slightly, like it's not the question he expected you to ask.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see like a slight, there's another shift in expression, a bit darker. And he looks directly down at you and he goes, "You can stop the Devaja trials, quite simply. But doing so and keeping everyone alive is impossible." And then you blink and you're back in the room with everyone else. No time has passed for anyone else in here. You just saw her blink, that's it.
I'm still like writing in my journal.
The immediate of everything, she is just going to just angrily stand up and just head to her room for the night until we have to leave.
Really hate hugs.
I sort of look up like confused, like, that was an intense reaction, but okay.
There's a
Did
very
you
big change.
kind of want to go talk to her?
Sometimes it's best just to let her have her peace for a while. If you push it too hard, she kind of clams up.
Well, to finish, I suppose, the conversation we were having, it seems that Terra doesn't have any ill intentions. Help is always good, especially seeing as we would be down annex. Not that we're trying to fill shoes or anything, but
The places we're going to are probably more on the dangerous side, so
we would need all the help we can get.
I don't think my feet are the same as a bird's feet. I can't fill her shoes.
I don't even think she really wore
Does she
shoes.
wear
But,
shoes?
you know.
Besides, nose just
but
bleeds.
I think she was bird, therefore no shoe. Yeah, no shoe cause bird. Look, if they could like let me be with them, not like they have much choice in the matter of that, but I think you're like a stronger candidate to remain in this group than I am, quite frankly.
I don't see a problem with having any of you here.
I think Kitty has a big problem with me being around. In general.
Well, you're both strong. I'm sure you can sort it out between you two. Is
True.
Sarosh still here, or did he, like...
Oh, you guys haven't seen Zerosh since you went into the gate.
Right.
You've contacted him once, but he said what Darian said at the start: don't destroy the phylactery, the gates will auto-close in 24 hours, and then you haven't talked to him since.
Such a bummer. Well, I guess if we are heading off tomorrow, we should probably call it an early night. And we've all decided to go to the fiefdom. Would anyone be opposed to possibly going to Illowell or Samaria afterwards?
I believe I have no objections with that.
Where's that?
Illowell or Sumeria?
Those are
Doesn't
the...
suit-
There's
You've gone to
some-
Illa before.
It's where all the really bad stuff's happening at the moment. I do kind of want to see what's happening down that way, and it seems like things are going to get worse for the Amarician Empire. And on a slightly more selfish side, I wouldn't mind looking for a trial that's around that area.
I personally have no issue with it, but as long as we could be back in the Cartesian Concord by the 22nd of Istar.
Just out of character, is how many
It is
months away is that?
3 months in a week.
And how would I know how long it would be to travel to? I probably wouldn't actually. That's fine.
It's not that far from Ghislaine. It depends on where you want to enter. If you go from any of the Amarician coastal cities, so Illowell or Telnorus, it's going to be a bit longer. But if you go to Ghislaine and head up to Tide's Favor, it shouldn't take more than like a week, but you still have to get to Ghislaine.
We could always try later. I mean, I'm sure the Empire can look after their own affairs. I'm just a little concerned.
If things are getting this bad this quickly in the Empire, I hate to say that things might not be on the up and up and could go south very, very quickly.
That's
With
more
insurrection
concerning.
grows hatred, and with hatred grows even stronger resistance.
Would I know why Osiris wants to go back to the Concordant?
I think that's up to Jeremy, but I think not.
Probably not. No.
Well, I'm not going to question it anyway. That's fine.
Well, what sort of business do you have in the Concordant, friend?
Can I get you to make a persuasion check?
Sure.
'Cause reasons.
Yeah.
How persuasive are you?
Pretty damn persuasive.
Oh,
Fuck you, Disadvantage.
that date is my anniversary.
Oh no. We should definitely make sure that we go. Then don't worry about. We can do it another time.
It's fine. We've got plenty of time. It's just traveling all over the place. Kind of lose track of it, and it's the
I
one
would
date
never
I wish
forgive
not to.
myself if we were to miss it.
Judas would just sort of look down and gently put a hand on his shoulder. I'm sorry for your loss, friend. I envy the amount of time you had to share with her. We will get you back there.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Well, I'm going to retire for the night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody. Sleep tight, and if you don't oppose to it, Osiris, considering you're the one who has it, I wouldn't want any unsavory characters coming in the middle of the night trying to take that. I'll put an alarm around you, around your room, just in case someone comes in.
Thank you. We should be alright though. It is technically not up this plane, which makes a lot of divination magic null and void, but the extra precaution is appreciated.
Nice. Yeah. So, when we head off and go to bed, I'll put an alarm around Osiris, and that alarm will be audible for everybody, but the one I'm going to put around myself when I return to my quarters will be silent, but it will wake me up.
Okie dokie. As you all rest for the evening, you all begrudgingly, for some of you, wake up, make your way to the station. You see Jakurva is lying on a bench. And as he starts to wake, the filling of the land burner begins, and it's not too soon until you're all on board and ready to go. At which day would you like a conversation?
I mean, Jakura would probably approach Osiris around the second or third day, as he mostly intends to sit sort of in silent thinking for at least the first day.
Okay. As you all...
He's ignoring the rest of the party, basically.
As you all travel, you make your way through the tunnel that goes under the Stone Pillar Highlands and out into the wastes. And as you reach the savannah, you make your way, Jakurva, you make your way to talk to Osiris. It's inspiration, yes.
As Jakurva approaches, he wouldn't exactly... slight hesitation as he goes to sort of poke his claw against Osiris's shell.
Yes, Jakuba.
You got a few minutes.
I have 4 days, technically.
I suppose that is true. I wouldn't mind having a conversation between us.
Alright.
I'm aware there may be prying ears, but I'm sure you're not going to yell.
Not one for yelling.
So I have a bit of a question for you, considering you seem a bit more well-traveled than the rest of us.
Yes?
With where we're going, I've been thinking for a few days, and I'm wondering, why does one dedicate themselves to a certain faith when they themselves can't follow it?
Oh, that is an interesting question. My best guess would be because even if one doesn't believe in it, it could still give purpose. The drive is what keeps people going, so even if it's something you don't inherently believe to be true, if it's something that you can get behind regardless, then there's no real harm.
I mostly ask this because, despite the history that you're now aware of, most of the party is, my reasons weren't always so... Well, obviously I once followed the faith as well. What I'm trying to say is I feel there may come a time where I'm going to question further why I want to keep pursuing this. As
Do
I
you
already
not
am.
follow that faith anymore?
No, I abandoned Tabris long ago. These days, as is obvious, I won't deny. I killed those priests because they were, well, as you heard, going against what they should have been doing. I simply did a duty that is usually handled within its own circle.
And for that reason, you no longer follow that deity?
Because I fear that I may expand this out further, not just the one faith.
Well, the way I see it, faith is a tricky thing. I see it as two sides of a coin. On one side, you've got the devout followers that mostly it is for adoration from a higher being to what's the word I'm looking for? To make sure that their place in this world is verified. Where the other side of it is people's goals and desires happen to align themselves with it, which means that you wouldn't inherently follow what that deity portrays to a T, but a lot of your motives end up aligning itself with it. That doesn't make you any less of a follower if you acknowledge that, but it doesn't make you any more of one if you don't. Just because you say you no longer follow that specific god for what other mortals did in their name or against them, doesn't mean you don't have to if you don't want to.
This is going to require a lot more thought. I mostly asked what I needed to. I don't know what's going to happen in the fiefdom, but it's not exactly a place I wanted to go back to so soon.
Well, this time you won't be alone. You have all of us there.
Yeah, I'm probably going to be applying some changes to the fur.
Whatever makes you more comfortable.
Oh, well, I appreciate the talk. I think I'm going to go think a little more.
And Jakuvra, don't let what others do impact what you want to do.
That's fair. And he will head off back to the little corner he was probably sitting in.
Okay.
He now thinks about whether he actually did shit years ago.
Did you all have anything else for the last 2 days of the train ride?
I do not know.
Okay.
No.
I have Atheneum rolls, but I will get back to you with that when I've typed them out.
Cool. While we're on the train.
Here to here
Oh, hello?
used to take a whole afternoon.
Hello?
Until now.
Phone?
Meat mode.
Okay, phone.
Wow.
You're
10 out of
being a
10.
dumbass. Phone turned on an
Wow.
ad while off.
Weird.
Not sponsored, by the way.
Hashtag not spawned by whatever the fuck that was.
Non-spawn.
But as you're on the train for the last 3 days, you will note that you probably discussed on the best way to get to the Absolem Fiefdom. Through maps, such as the one here that you saw, and that will be changed. I did work on it a little during the break. It just needed some time that we did not have to finish up. As you're looking at the map, you know that the best two ways probably to get there are to go either from Tel Nerus up to up the north path of Andivine to Pride's Watch, and then going along the savannah, along the edge, or heading from Tel Nerus to Duskview and then heading straight to the Absolem Fiefdom from that. You guys can discuss or have someone decide on which path you think would be the most optimal for the lot of you, but that it is something to note as you're traveling on the last couple of days. Eventually, on the 19th of Lucht, after 4 days of travel, around midday, you all arrive in the city of Tel Nerus. What greets you there seems to be an influx of guardsmen. A small amount, not really noticeable. You notice that maybe instead of a squadron of 2 to 3 guards, there's 3 to 4 guards. And a lot of them are not really wearing the guard attire, but mainly the regalia of the army, the Andivian army. As you're looking around, the locals, mainly just the people. A few guards are like giving you looks, but mainly just the civilians, giving you a little bit of a stink eye. If you wanted to try and roll insight, you could, but it doesn't seem to be just to you. It just seems to be to a variety of different people that are all just giving a little bit of stink eye.
I'll roll insight.
I'll also roll insight.
I'd roll it, but probably be the one kind of just looking down with like a fuck off like look basically to them.
They mainly...
You glare back at them, and they're like, it's like the whole thing, your eyes meet theirs, and they look away quickly, like, oh, we weren't looking at you badly.
They look at you,
Intimidation.
and you look at him.
Actually, I probably should have rolled intimidation as well, but I will.
They're mainly just wary of outsiders of the city at the moment. Something seems to have happened within the last... Because it's been 20 days since you've been here, so something must have changed in some manner while you've been gone.
I'll say one thing you guys also notice as you're traveling through the city to whatever your destination is, like the last time you were here, there are many refugees in the city, people like who clearly look like they've been traveling a long time and don't have like a place to stay secured, and there's even more than the last time you were here.
Whilst we're walking, can I roll like a perception to see whether or not I can overhear any conversations about like current things?
Sure. Kind of eavesdrop on the current goings on.
Yes.
Do it.
Okay, with a 15.
Walking around, it's hard to catch like full conversations as you move along. You're only catching snippets here and there. Aside from the general, you know, there are lots of people here and we don't particularly like them attitude going on. There was quite a bit of distrust between the locals and the refugees. And part of that stems from you're able to overhear that apparently there's been an increase in kind of like a bandit-ish activity between the cities. Not just between, you hear, not just between Andivine and Illowell and Sumeria and Sonaris, but also that people traveling at night between Tel Nerus and Andivine have been attacked. Farms raided.
Oh no.
And even some traveling, like it's just something that catches you off guard because you guys all know from traveling through this area that the roads between Tel Nerus and Andivine are very well patrolled. And this level of this happening now, this close to the capital, it's put everyone on edge.
Our farmer friend. This doesn't look good.
100%
You had a farmer
used as
friend?
a scene.
I take it there are more guards just out and about trying to keep the peace. so to speak?
Oh, straight up. Like, there's
Yeah.
not just guards. Like, as AJ said before, you don't just see guards traveling in bigger numbers. You see members of, like, the Amarician army acting like guards.
I'm going to approach one of them and hello soldier. My group and I, we've been in Highview for the past bit under 3 weeks. City wasn't as guarded as before. Well, what's happened?
More info.
Well, you see,
Go
you
on.
go.
Oh, you're right. Okay, Tim. Next time, I'm the leading chargeman. All right.
I get it. It's okay. Pull rank. It's fine.
Last couple of weeks has been a bit more of a foreclosure down in Illowell and Sonaris. The rebels have essentially encased the city with their men, and more raiding along the roads, farms, and people getting hit. And yeah, someone tried to kidnap the princess. That happened a couple weeks ago.
Any more attempts made on her? Or anyone of the royal family?
Not that we know. We're just standard rank and file men. No one said anything.
Are the eyes at least investigating this?
The eyes can only do so much. It's not really a trial case.
Very well. Good job, soldier.
Thank you,
That is.
sir.
And I head back to the group. I'd like to make an insight check if I can.
On what?
Well, last time we came across guards not actually being guards, so I want to check to see if these soldiers are actually soldiers by their demeanor.
Fair enough. Feel free to roll insight.
I'm gonna do
No.
that again.
Do it
Okay,
again.
he's using
You're
his
using your
inspiration.
inspiration.
Yep. Not even better.
You, with that, you don't really know. You've seen a few types of guards, like in travel, mainly the fiefdom, but the fiefdom didn't have this standing sort of military. A lot of the fiefdom's military were light cavalry. They wore light armor, were a lot more relaxed in general. These people are a bit stiff, trying to only give out information that they can. They seem to be doing their job. They seem to be guardsmen / soldiers, making sure that the city is okay, from what you can tell.
I'll then head back to the group, give a brief salute. So, from what I could gather from the guards over there, or the soldiers more likely, it seems like they have, well, the rebels have, I'm saying this in a hushed tone, so as to not draw any more attention. So as believe the rebels have basically formed a siege around some area, cutting off supply lines, raiding farms, just generally making it harder for people to get in, and also destroying people's lifestyles. No more attacks have been made against the princess or the royal family, as far as I know, from what they're telling me.
They could just be lying to you.
The
True.
farms and the people are being. You said there's attacks on the roads.
Yes,
Oh, this is not good.
which is
I
very
guess-
worrying.
It was to be expected with war, but I was hoping it wouldn't get to this stage so quickly.
I would say keep your eyes and wits about you. I'm not very familiar with this type of military force, these soldiers. But I'm not saying there could be those of ill intent masquerading as guardsmen. We saw someone our last time here. It's more than possible that it's happened again.
You saying that, she sort of looks a little uncomfortable and pulls her hood up.
Anything happens to you, I have a sword, shield, and I can protect you.
Oh, I won't go down without a fight, but maybe we should keep moving.
Akbar, you might want to keep a bit more hidden as well. You might be in my protection, but that only goes so far. I'm not sure the military.
I will point out he has well and truly already dyed a fair bit of his fur while they were on the
Good.
hand burner. He also grew a mustache.
Nice. Does he
He's
have
not
a
just
gold
more
monocle and a top hat?
No. He's not rich. He just had some slight equipment.
Is it called hair or is it called fur still?
It's a fur stash.
Yeah, it's like those what are they, Fu Manchus or whatever?
Yeah.
Yep.
Is that what they're called?
Yeah. It's a beard with the thin mustache.
Like you'd see in Skyrim on a Khajiit.
Khajiit has wears.
Yeah, like the long ones that come down from their top of the ear.
Khajiit has fist, if you have fist.
Very good.
Is there any way? Is there any way you want to go?
How long will it take to get even close to the 15? Just for my curiosity.
It is. So to Andavine is 4 days. To Pride Watch it's another 3, I believe, and then it'll be probably around 3 to 4 days going that path, and then essentially it's probably around the same. Perhaps a week or 8 days, whichever way you go. Not going where the crow flies.
It's basically, if you follow either road, it's basically 10 days, give or take, either way.
And if you're accepting insight, I'd rather avoid the savannah.
Cool, just making sure for rations and stuff for later.
We
Well,
do
we
have
What-
Tara
What
with
time
us
did
who
we
can-
get off the
Midday.
midday?
We would be back in familiar hunting territory at least.
And Tara can make rations as well with her spells. I have a fair few, but at the same time, I think that we should be fine. I'm waiting to see what other people want to do, whether or not we want to stay a night or leave first thing.
I'm just gonna pin that message for later.
If you want, and if it will put your mind at ease, I can see what my order knows.
Is there
Consider.
really any point sticking around though?
I doubt there is, no. But it's always good to have information from multiple sources.
I think the sooner we get things done in the fiefdom, the sooner we can move on and get other things done.
That is true, as well.
It's up to everyone if we want to leave immediately or if we want to have a night's rest. I mean, I've honestly been sitting down for probably too long.
The less time I have to think, the better.
If this helps you negotiate a path, there's that.
Yeah.
Tick for leaving straight away, cross for staying a night.
No. Dig for Andavine, cross for Duskview.
It's
This gives us a direction.
it gives us
Oh, right.
direction.
Oh, I see. I didn't even read that bit.
Andavine was the one that went through the Pride Rock, wasn't it?
Yep.
Andavine is straight up.
Yep.
It's also where Zerosh is.
Yeah.
Oh, even more reason to avoid it.
Oh wait, no, I don't like any of these options now.
I think a word with Zeresh could be useful.
Yeah, I'm thinking Andavine.
I do not feel like going through Duskview at the moment.
I think one's me and one's Darian, and one is Min, who's not here.
Seems like everyone wants to go Andavine anyway.
Okay. But yeah, so you guys can decide if you're going to spend the rest of the day here doing prep or having a look at stuff, or and then something else, or for now just carrying on having camp outside the city.
What time is it?
Probably around like 11, 12 in the morning.
I vote to leave straight away.
I'm good on rations.
Yeah, considering that city we're in, probably best to leave straight away.
Mr. Osiris,
Yeah.
with your neat little tower, can anybody get in, or is it only people you select?
It's like a normal house.
So only
There is-
vampires can't get in.
Yeah. Only vampire. But there is no windows, and there is one point of entry, unless, I don't know, say somebody casts Disintegrate or Pass Wall.
Oh no.
But then at that point, we're screwed anyway.
What about catapult?
I was only asking mainly
The
because
strongest
if we're
stone.
going to be leaving immediately,
Mm.
there have been rumors of raids overnight, so bandits decide to try and hole up in your little tower. We might be needing to have a watch order.
I'm assuming that was the idea anyway.
I should be able to manipulate it so there could be a hatch on the top for the roof, so you could stand at sort of like a precipice isn't the word.
Platypus?
Parapet.
Parapet, that's the word. I don't even know if that's right, but
That would be correct there.
I think that's within my capabilities.
I will put an alarm around the tower anyways. And designate only us allowed to not trip the alarm, so this is also in a hushed whisper.
Okay.
Not sure how many people have light fingers around here.
Okay. So you're going to
Go straight away.
go straight away?
Yeah.
Okay.
I will summon Slera. I like Slera. They are
Okay.
a good boy.
You riding decently ahead, or are you slowing down to match their pace?
I'll be about 20 feet ahead, so I'm always in eyesight. Keeping a good eye on the front.
Okay. You all head off into. Mhm.
Before we leave, is there a chance I can drop a letter off?
Yep.
Sam?
You can go to a mailing center and have a letter delivered.
I would like just quickly do that as we were like leaving.
Cool.
I'll send you the letter as well.
Alright. Also, just send me the destination and I'll tell you how much money it's gonna be.
Yeah, all good.
As you make your way northwards, the 4 days that you're traveling don't seem to be impacted by any bandits or anything like. The guardsmen are still patrolling this area and they're still rather common. And so it does look like the road is being well maintained in terms of surveillance. And eventually you see a crowd of people, a very large crowd that seems to have made some sort of like tent town, shanty town outside of Andivine. And there seems to be a impromptu wooden wall, probably as tall as Jakova, but not much taller, surrounding these tents.
It's about a 6-foot wall.
Yep.
This is much worse than I expected. I expected there to be refugees, but not this much. Alright.
Are you circumventing Andivine, or have got any places to visit in Andivine?
He said
Did us-
Zerosh was there.
That's
Did
where he
Osiris want
lives.
to? Did
No,
Osiris
this
want
is
to
true.
attempt that?
That might be worth. I don't know whether to take it or not, but it might be worth giving him the phylactery. Just in case, because. What would you rather go up against? A group of 6 barely functioning adventurers?
Oh,
Or a motherfucking
speak for yourself.
gold dragon?
Fair point, though.
Bronze, whatever color it is. I don't know. I
Coloured.
don't see
dragon.
colors.
He's gold.
Just a dragon.
He's very gold.
He's
very
shiny.
gold. You saw
Where?
sort of that. You saw like a golden aura when he was fighting the Lich.
Also scorch marks. Dab.
So we're stopping to see the traitorous bastard.
Yes.
I guess we are.
Eventually, you make your way towards the center of the city and end up in front of Zarosha's manor once again.
A knock.
Is this Judas's first time in the Andivine mansion?
Yes.
Ah, okay.
As you knock on the door, the holographic manservant appears once again. Hello! Lord Zarosha is currently not home at the moment. Would you like to book an appointment?
I guess I saw that one coming.
Yes, please.
When should I schedule you in?
As soon as possible.
I will let you know when Lord Zarosha has returned.
Can I leave a name for you
Yes.
to relay to him? Asshole.
I will aware that Lord Zarosha that an asshole is waiting for him as soon as he returns.
Thank you. And Osiris walks away.
Okay then.
I knew this trip would be short.
Osiris is trying to be mad, like trying real hard to be mad, but what are we supposed to expect?
Yeah, exactly.
When things are just so ridiculous that it's like you can't be mad because it's just
Yeah.
funny.
At this point, it's my fault for assuming that he would be home in his fucking house.
You could have called ahead.
So,
I
what's
could
that?
have, but I swapped out sending.
Wow, weird of you, huh?
If I could have more spells, I would.
Well, you know, you had 4 days of travel and then 4 more days of travel. You know, could have 1-2'd at any point, but what's on you?
I'm not level 5,
just
so
assumed.
Okay.
Just
Alright.
assumed.
Alright.
It's on me.
It's all good.
It's okay. We specifically wrote, Zarosha is not home in the notes.
Oh, I'm not surprised.
As you guys gonna circumvent Andivine then? And just
Yep,
head
I need
up?
to go there.
Okay. As you continue on through the day, it is another 4-day trip. Wait, let me see if it's a 10-day trip total. That was 4.
3 days. It was
Yeah,
4 days.
three each. Yeah, after another 3 days travel, it is now the 26th of Locked. And you arrive in the it's not a town. It's more of a fort, as
It's
it
a
is
fort.
called, Fort Pratt Watch. It is surprisingly, unlike the other cities you visited, less populated than before.
Haven't missed this place.
There are barely enough guards standing along each of the walls, and there does not seem to be a sight of any of these masses of refugees.
Trained here before I went to the fiefdom.
No.
No.
Okay.
We haven't been here since like
Cool.
almost like the first session, right?
Yeah, literally the first session.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're on the second session, you came back through. But last time you guys were here was a long time ago. This fort was very heavily manned, like pretty much to the brim with soldiers. This time, like as Ada just said, like it's like it's at the bare minimum to still be classified as manned.
Yeah.
So
Can
it's
I-
skeleton crew.
Pretty much.
Can I make a history check to like remember what
Sure.
exactly like this fort was for again?
Absolutely, go for it.
Fuck me.
I can't see that in AJ's AFK, so this roll again, not in the tower.
Yeah, you know what? I literally just double press the fucking button.
It's a horrible
No.
setting. I don't know how to turn it off, but I want to.
I like
20.
this one.
Well, yeah, you know exactly what this place was for. You've been, because you came through here before. This
I have
Fort
pretty good
Pride's
memory.
Watch is literally like it is the most manned military platform, as it is the most northern point to between Amaris and the Wastes. And
Yep.
it serves 100% to protect the border of Amaris, the surrounding farmlands to the south, and patrol what of the savannah they can to stop the three Korean incursions from the Wastes, which do happen all year round.
Yes. One more little thing I want to try to see if I can pull from that as well. Were like the people at this fort differently garbed compared to most other military forces?
They're just like the regular normal soldiers.
Okay, fine. So you can't really tell. Okay. Good to know.
Trying to remember, was it this place or was it one close to the fiefdom that had a like small, essentially town hall they use as like a church thing as well?
I think that was the fiefdom.
I remember it was a small place we went to that was like this, but just
Let me
trying to remember
check
if it was
my
this one.
notes.
Yeah.
I don't remember anything like that.
Actually, no, we've never been. I've been to the fiefdom, but you guys haven't.
Yeah.
Some of us have witnessed it in our past.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But nothing has happened actually. We didn't
Trying to
do-
remember if it was here or if it was definitely.
Yeah, that would have to be the that would be the fiefdom, which does have the little church fortress thing.
Mhm.
Okay, it was not here. Prize Watch does
It
not have
wasn't
anything
here?
like- No.
No. okay.
Prize Watch has okay, so there is a like kind of town hall that functions as also like the main praying area. Like there's very small churches to like setups for each of the three gods, like the main three, as well as like the usual collection of shrines for the other gods.
Yeah, I was curious
but-
because if there was one here that I remembered, I was going to do what I haven't done in a while and actually just go oversee what it's like there.
Yeah, there is a area for it. You go in there, it's completely empty. Like there's not even a priest or anyone. There's not a single soldier in there. There's no one.
Cool. Depending what the rest of the party's doing, I wouldn't mind spending a few moments just approaching each of the little, I guess, shrines they'd have set up. I think that's what you said. Yeah.
Yeah, there are a lot of shrines.
I just wish to approach them, look at them each one
Yep.
by one.
I'll
We'll
do the same,
follow,
actually.
make sure he doesn't get into trouble.
Right. Well, there are many shrines to all different gods. Some of them more heavily worshipped than others. You know that you all would know this is common knowledge. Unlike the big three, these are not natural gods. These are like the ascended mortals. They only gain these little shrines. You see, like there's Solaro, which is the god of the light, day, and sun. You see Osworth, the god of metal and rock.
What kind
You-
of rock?
The earth.
Oh no, I thought it was the music.
No. You see a shrine to Volane, which is the god of family and hearth. There's a shrine to Fortura, which is a god of gambling. You see a very small one to Mina, god of fate. So many. Grandula, god of nature and hunting. Nighttime, which is god of darkness, night, and the moon. Athtar, which is god of fire. There are a lot of shrines.
Specifically, I'd like to stop at Voline briefly.
Yep. It's just one of the many shrines. You see, like, it's almost like a gravestone in the way it's set up. There is a small little like collection plate at the front for offerings and whatnot, and you see a mixture.
What I was doing.
Some people have like there's a few coins in there, like silver and copper. There's also like little notes people have written, or like candles burning. Every one of these shrines has different things. There's even one shrine which is off to the side. There's no name on it, but it's just got like a white and a black like symbol on it.
Yeah.
And there's just like a cup of water on that one.
Specifically, the what was it? The Valine. I'm going to leave 6 GP.
Cool. You just drop 6 coins.
Can I do this without the others noticing? That'd be slight, wouldn't it?
Make a sleight of hand.
Do you want disadvantage since they're kind of just following?
No, you're moving between the shrines. Like you could do this while they're all looking at different ones as well. Please, I don't know why. I hope I could turn that off. Hey, AJ, what do you roll? It's a sleight of hand. 7? Not a very good sleight of hand.
Okay.
Yeah, you drop the coins, and then anyone who wants to see, who has a passive perception of higher than 7, which I think is everyone, you can notice him slip a small offering into the shrine.
I wouldn't say anything about it anyway.
Good.
I'm assuming there's nothing for Priestess at all. It's probably a little bit too obscure.
Yeah. So Priestess, you would know from your learnings, Priestess is not. Priestess is a dead god.
Yeah.
Which is different.
Priestess went bye-bye.
Yes.
Yeah. Rip.
When you're all done, I'll be waiting outside. Damn stalkers.
I wasn't even like walking next to you. I was like horribly off and like.
Let's be clear, that was mostly directed at Judas.
Then it would be the singular.
Yeah, well, he's not the brightest cat.
Yeah. Once I've sort of had a little look, and just wanted to sort of see which ones were there, and then yeah, I'll be ready.
Are
to
there
leave.
any guardsmen currently here, or are they just all patrolling?
Like one.
You can tell almost every guard is either resting or on the walls. There's like almost no one in the actual fort itself.
I'm going to approach that guard and greet him. Good day, soldier. I take it with the recent happenings, most of the fort is vacated in order to maintain the peace.
Yep. You could say that, and like he's stretching out. Looks like he's only like just gotten off a bit of a duty himself, and they're like, "It's rather weird being so empty, but most of the folks being pulled south."
Any attacks recently from the north?
Luckily, no. It would be a shit time if there was, but no, we've been lucky. Last raid came through 3-4 weeks ago, and that was feist, so we haven't dealt with anything close to the fort itself anyways.
Okay, that's good to hear. Are you able to call for reinforcements, or are you just like dismanned until people get back and things die down again?
At the moment, we're not entirely stressed out about it, because if timing is right, there should be an expedition heading out from the Solum anyway. That'll keep the bugs occupied.
Fair enough, fair enough. Steady on as you were, sir, and enjoy your much deserved rest time. And I give a nod and a salute.
Yeah, like he doesn't even. When you salute, he just like waves at you as he like just turns and walks towards the barracks.
It's like a cocked salute. Yeah, you've done
like a chill
your work. Yeah.
Just a slight note on what Darian said. There was an expedition. They've already had one, so the numbers are lessened because of that.
Yeah.
That's relevant to the 2 people who know what we mean, who knows what that means.
Yep, that's why I said.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, what's happening with everyone else.
I'm following the group.
Okay. What's the group doing? Staying here? Going on their way?
There's no point in sticking around. I think we just keep going.
Yeah, we'll just keep going.
Yep, I'm good for that.
I'd like to get through the savannah fast.
Okay. You head your way to Savannah and another 3 days pass. However, on the night of the 7th day, what is the general watch order been?
I'll probably stick to nights as well to be able to
Have one set up.
see.
I don't think we did.
No.
We should set one
It
up.
changes so often.
And are you using the house?
Yes.
Okay.
I will always be using house, so I will mark off. I will just have a third slot marked off until I know we arrive somewhere in the morning.
I will also mark off. How big's the house?
5 by 5, 10 by 10.
10 by 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
So-
I'll mark off alarm because that's a 20-foot cube.
Okay.
Jakubra,
Designating
night watch.
every one of us as the only occupants allowed, including my Aquileo.
I guess I'll
No,
probably take one of the...
outside.
I guess I'd probably take one of the first watches if Osiris ends up putting like the hatch at the top. Just kind of using that mostly while just filling in my input.
Okay.
I will.
I'll take first.
I'll have Slera also take first watch
Okay.
because they can telepathically talk to me and they are of independent action.
How does she get up the ladder?
I'm assuming she's outside.
How does
They are outside,
Okay.
just patrolling. I would say about a good 30 feet from the tower.
Okay.
Just in a radius.
He's on
Roll
second.
perception into the tower for her.
No.
No, I'm just rolling. He's on second watch.
I'll do second watch, why not?
Third?
I'll do
Okay.
third.
Oh, Jesus.
You can double up if you want. You don't have to do
Yeah, I'll I
Yeah,
want to do a
50-50.
night one.
Okay.
Jakubra will probably use the fourth then as a chance to also look for any potential hunt.
Okay.
Is just you by yourself in the last one, or someone else having the watch with you?
I don't know if anyone would want to be near the kitty.
I don't think Mem is here to say yes or no. So we'll just do just Tricova. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone roll perception checks for your watchers. Don't bother with Slayer. Christine can have advantage on hers just to make it easier.
Remember to drag it and drop it into
Oh.
the thing.
Yeah, I should have. Do
16,
you want me to redo that, or
13, 20. No, it's fine. 7.
Makes sense.
And Judas is the last one. So
Yeah.
flat 20 from Osiris.
Want me to roll one for
I said
Slera?
that Christine can roll with advantage because of Slayer.
Okay.
Just roll one for yourself.
Yeah. Perception.
Okay.
No.
And the 7. Alright. Christine and Judas, you're busy trying to not fall asleep when you're watching. You're not looking. You're mainly trying to stay up. It's been a rough couple days and you've been tracking it. Haven't really had, while this is a room with beds in it, it's not like an inn with
And
ones
we're also
for
moving
proper
this time
rest.
instead of actually on a cart.
Yeah. So it's a bit tiring for you, but
I imagine those, particularly for Christine, it's like most of the time is spent kind of flicking a lot through her book, trying to sort of piece together as much as she can with what she's kind of now knows, and just is trying to make some sense of anything. Probably distracting her a lot.
Judas. It's just being Judas things.
Oh, sorry. I'm having a look at something.
No, you're good.
Yeah, I messaged. I was reading stuff.
No, it's fine. I was messaging. Same with Judas. Cyrus and Selena. Your watch is rather fine. Nothing seems to be in the background of anything. You're just mainly looking around. You see that this manifestation of Judas's is roaming around. It's really the only thing you can notice. There are wild creatures in there, but they're all a distance away from you. They don't really look like they want to deal with the tower that magically appeared one night in the middle of the savannah.
So they shouldn't.
Or a one-eyed half griffin.
Jakurva.
Mm-hmm.
As you're looking around, you notice, as you're gazing off, you see two lions, a white one and a black one, appearing just out of your sight, like right at the farther end. And they seem to be staring at the tower.
I stare at them.
As you do, you stare at them, they almost look statuesque. But as you go and blink, they are standing on top of the tower, 10 feet away from you,
Of course.
looking at you, almost like statues. As they're closer, you see that this white lion seems to have like a black opalescent circle that you can't tell if it's fur or a gem on the center of its head, and the white one, and the black one has one similar. Instead of it's a white moonstone.
What do?
Oh, someone's gonna be roaring. How close did you say they were?
10 feet.
They're 10 feet away.
Perfect.
Did they pass the threshold?
Yep.
I didn't get a ping from that.
Nope.
Nope.
Cool. I'm going to attempt to daunting roll them both since they're within 10 feet.
Okay.
Do you want me to just roll the say?
Yeah, let's
do you
go.
want me to do this? It's
Just cool.
oh that.
Oh, yeah.
So you see these two lions appear. Your immediate reaction is, "Oh fuck, lions!" and you go to roar them down.
Yakira is not exactly. He's feeling a little uneasy in the savannah. To be fair,
I feel like Jakova's more of a fight than a flight kind of guy in general.
in this case, yes.
Yeah, so you reach back and you roar at these two lions, having your weapons aside, and in your head, you hear, "The path you walk,
The path you choose,
is it one of struggle?
or of least resistance,
Will you seek your answers?
or curse the void for its silence?
Did his words bore you?
Or did they seem too forgiving?
Will you carve a righteous path?
Or will the gallows be your home?
The path you walk,
The path you choose,
can you see its tracks?
or do you wander blindly?
Is it instinct that guides you?
Or foolhardy determination?
Do you feel a hypocrite?
Or only the true blade?
The path you walk,
The path you choose,
will it give you the answers?
or will you be more worm food?
So how did Jakova react to that?
I'm just trying to process what all of that was in one sentence.
I'd just talk to you, man. Take as much time as you
That's
need.
a lot of words. Okay.
It will copy paste it for you.
We'll copy paste it.
At some point, yes, but his initial reaction is, well, while he was going into a fighting stance, he sort of just seems, I want to say, almost like he's lost his will to even try and fight them.
In that moment where you feel like your will slipping, you suddenly start as if you're just waking up, and you feel like you pull your head up from your chest, and there's no lions there.
Just a note that those words that were being said were more like they were cacophonous echoes in your head.
Yeah. didn't want to interrupt, otherwise he probably honestly would have said, "Get the fuck out of my head," but that might have been a bit aggressive, so... yeah, no, he's not really fully sure how to process that one, considering his own afflictions right now. Which I feel like that's echoing that a little. Well, I'm gonna just copy that into a note.
Yeah, I'll send it to you directly.
But yeah, as you all rouse up from the sleep as the sunlight starts hitting the sky at this point, as the dawn has come, you all make your last journey through the savannah and into the fiefdom. As you move further towards the fiefdom, it's been a lot more brush as you're traveling on this path, but it seems to start slowly turning into the foresty area that you know from the Amarisian Empire. And as you do, the amount of forest seems to stay at this limited feature, as you see many more farms than like actual small towns or anything. It seems to mainly be a few towns, a few farms, and this one major town in the Absalom fiefdom, which the two who have been here before know about. As you approach, you see, as you're walking in there, you see 3 large major, like, building-esque things that are all, like, sort of hemisphering the town in general. On the left, there seems to be one familiar to both the Judas and Jakova. The center being probably the fiefdom's castle itself. And the one on the right seems to be much smaller scale than the other two, but still rather large. And there seems to be an odd mix of, like, sandstone and wood.
Of course we're back in this damned place.
Yeah. Nostalgic, eh?
Call it what you want. Just get to the point.
Spoke to Jack. He said best answers to get straightforward in the temple, but to be... I'm not the type for this shit. Preferably you are. I think the word is covert. I'm kind of bad at covert.
Then let's approach peacefully. You'd be more covert if you decided not to blazon your damn symbol everywhere.
That would be breaking my oath, sir.
Then you stay back and I'll approach. Would you prefer that?
I prefer a two-franked approach. I prefer the distraction. You get in.
How about we ask nicely? You know,
That
knock on the
actually might
door.
work. I mean, that actually might work. I mean, could be like a sick-ass twisted play.
There was clear sarcasm in his voice, by the way.
I know. I took hint in that. Judas would take hint. You'd see from his resting bitch face, just the ever so slight chuckle.
Alright, knocking on the door it is. And he puts on his gauntlet.
we've forgotten as part of this plan, or-
Don't killing.
Yeah, everyone
Are
else.
we-
What's everyone else?
Yeah, are we forgotten, or should we go stand over there?
No, you're echoes of the forgotten. I'm sorry.
Also for
Gain
me,
inspiration.
where are you going? Which door are you knocking on?
That was his implication. I assume we meant the place we're familiar with, but...
Yeah. Okay.
Just want to walk up to the temple.
Alright.
I'll be on Slara, then dismount as we approach said temple fort.
1 sec.
Okay.
Let me get on.
So that's the two of you are deciding to head that way after everyone else standing around hears them discuss this. What's everyone else's thoughts?
Should we just leave them, or
I feel like no plan, no discussion, no nothing. They're doing things on their own. I don't know what we're doing anymore.
Like these people have like
There's any
no
shops
memory.
around?
Well,
I mean,
um,
did
No,
you
I
want
have
to torch
memory.
people?
I have memory. It's not like I know the place though.
Yeah, you got a good point there.
Yeah.
I know why we are here. I do not know where we go, nor what we do.
Look, how's this? Judas will like stop for a half minute contemplating while Jakura goes and runs off with people wanting fucking information.
Cyrus pulls out like a small little notebook that he has, which for most of the party recognizes it as Zarosh's journal, which he has now commandeered the remaining pages for himself. And pulls out like tiny little bifocals and says, well, I did some research on this place because, you know, library in my head. And this has a few different places of note, just so I don't make a dig of myself. This is the fiefdom, correct?
Yes.
Yep. Yes.
Fantastic. So apparently they have a zoo here.
Oh yes, zoo. That is quite fun.
So that's where they keep a bunch of interesting looking beasts, apparently for the wealthy. The place I assume they're going is the temple fortress of Tabarus.
Correct.
They do have an academy here, so if anyone's interested in some research or anything, that is an option.
It's
Oh.
more of a martial
that.
academy.
Martial Academy.
Yeah.
Martial is a name.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
like
no,
Martial
yeah.
is a-
It's supposed to be
Yeah,
spelled like
Martial?
that. It's supposed to be like that.
I spelled it wrong.
Martial. Yeah.
Good job.
As in
Okay.
hit with big stick,
Yeah.
make hurt.
Yep.
So
if you
hearing
said
that,
academy, it'd be like, and then
Oh.
Marsha should be like, oh.
This isn't books, she says, holding a sword.
It's sword fighting all over again. Zaxi, it's
When do we get to the books?
hearing that, Osiris will scratch that out and write the right martial at the top. I'll have to fix that when I go back in.
This is where they train the paladins.
Apparently they have an ambassador, which is a place I'm not super familiar with. The Uai Uhao.
Uhai, uhau.
Uhai Uhao.
Don't question things you don't want the answers to.
And apparently they have a master smith here, if anyone's interested in upgrading their gear.
That's interesting.
Oh, old Gil. Yeah, he is awesome.
But apparently he only works on construction, farming, and animal husbandry.
Yes.
Oh,
It's I've met him like 1 or 2 times. Pretty decent fellow.
We're all pretty persuasive in this group. Maybe you can get something commissioned, but I don't know how long we're going to be here.
So as long as it's related to farm work or animals.
You could get a cool scythe made. That's technically farm work. Just saying.
Ooh.
I don't think I'd be very good at wielding a scythe.
AJ.
Mm-hmm.
Would this be the place where I go to get fucking paid? Not the Feria, but the temple.
No.
Okay.
You go to your designated where you're stationed, and they'll pay you there. This is the temple thing. Is you also mentioned the academy? Just so for recapping, the academy does not train paladins. The academy teaches battle mastery, swordsmithing, and all that. And from there, not gods. The big three look at potential potential paladins for their things. And then the temple is where paladins are trained.
Specifically for Tabarus.
You were stationed here when you first graduated, because everyone is, and then you moved to a more permanent residence where you collect your money and all that through that. Yours is in Andivine.
Oh, so we literally passed my house.
Yes.
Pretty much. Also, you would also know that in any city where Tabarus have a presence, which is basically every city, if you're on the case, you can basically just be like, hey, I need a bed to stay. And they'll be like, okay.
And you can ask to get your your stipends from there, and they'll mark it down and send it to your home place to not pay you when you get back.
Yeah, and same as like, if you need a place to rest and stuff, they'll give you food, they'll give you rest, etc. Because you're an eye, they have benefits. Not dental though.
Not dental.
No dental.
That's provided free by the
What's the
ASLs.
point of that then?
Well, you're considering wielding divine light. I think you can heal yourself.
Wait, do
get
I
super?
get free resurrections?
No, so you can't have any diseases, so you can't have mouth problems.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's
Wait,
super.
There is no super.
Do I get free revivifiers and resurrections or
No.
Damn it! Is that like something I have to work to?
50-year service.
Come on
You
now, Demi. You get like a bed and food. It's better than
you have
shadow
access
people.
to. Dimitri, you want me to explain why you can't have access to Revivify? Because there's no clerics. Remember
You might have
that?
forgotten this,
Remember
but
that?
there are like no clerics. in
Yeah,
the-
no cleric at all.
You've met one cleric the entire time you've been playing the game.
He wasn't even on this plane.
Exactly.
They were on this plane. They
Were
fell
they?
out of a
Sometimes.
different plane.
Sometimes they're on this plane, sometimes they're not.
Yeah.
Okay. So, where's everyone going to go and visit? We'll have a
Maybe
look.
there's some shops.
There is a whole.
Yeah.
So from just general world knowledge, you'll know that Absalom is not a
you.
huge place. It's smaller than Tel Nerus. It's smaller than Andivine. Hell, it's smaller than Illowell and everything like that. It itself is actually a very small footprint, but it has a lot of farmlands around it, which have lots of crops. You just walked through them. You fucking saw them.
Wow.
There are shops, but it's just like when you walk into the town, it's just basic general stores. They don't, like, aside from hearing Old Yield, you see a massive lack in blacksmiths of any sort.
Also, could you roll 2 history checks? One for one because of your lineage, you did some research and stuff beforehand, and the other because you heard a name that you might know before.
Is this me?
Yes.
2 history. Okay.
Yeah. What were you gonna say, Kimmy?
I wasn't gonna say anything. I was just like, oh, world knowledge, I need that.
Okay.
Yeah, I knew nothing.
You know that they sell horses here, and that's it. And you don't know about how in any way. You neglected
That's
to
fair.
study that.
That's fair.
Would I know why a place that focuses in like martial training not have a blacksmith or anything like that? Or
You
is
can
there anything
try and
I
roll
can
history.
learn?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyone wants to know
I'll-
history if you want to know basic information.
Yeah, I wonder if that's like.
Would I know if they have a
something
blacksmith here?
You would 100% know they have no blacksmiths here.
Okay, yep.
Christine,
Well, that seems weird to me.
You wonder aloud why there are no blacksmiths in Absolem, and Judas is like, there is no metal in Absolem. There are no mines. They import all of their metal, and so it's cheaper to import finished goods than raw materials.
And with your
It makes them easier to kill.
20, you know that your flat 20 that this was part of their arrangement with during the Cenarian War, that they will be given the independence and then they can call on the Amarician Empire for armory if they needed it.
Okay.
Basically, with this place is what you see is what you get.
So not a whole lot.
It's rather simple.
Look, I used to train in the temple and in the academy. It was quite good.
Also, the description of Temple Fortress, like in the center of Absolem, there is a big like castle keep, which you'd assume is like the seat of the whoever the hell rules here. Off to the side, basically just out of town, there is a second like basically castle, where you see like 15-20 foot high walls and a large like multi-tiered structure in the center that looks like a giant ass church.
That's the holiday home.
Yeah, that's where I lived for about a couple of years.
Yeah, that's a temple fort.
I feel like you're getting left behind by.
What happened there?
No, it's completely fine. I could catch up with them easily.
Can you?
I'm here to provide what is known as, I think, exposition. I think.
Well,
Anyway,
while you guys
I
do
might
your
see
thing,
I might see if Seal or Rickard are still here. Hopefully they are.
Well, on that note, I'm just going to go window shopping, I guess.
Okay.
Let me know when you're done.
Good luck. We're just trying to, find gavel shit. If anyone has any information, be happy. I actually think I think Turtle might actually be quite useful. Cyrus, if that is okay, if you could come with us. You're
Yeah, sure, okay.
I know it's a little unsavory, the information gathering you do by peeking into people's heads, but
If it wasn't
We got the
savory, I would have got thrown in, like, some sort of hold. I haven't.
yeah, fair enough. Any
People don't
information
lie,
that
we
you can
have no
gather,
problems.
any information that you could gather is good. We need to figure out what the hell's going on here.
So you want me to do it against the people you know and trust? Just so I'm on the same page.
You can do it, yes. Just don't get caught.
No. It's not a matter
Oh, I think
whether or
that
not I can
our,
do it. Do you want me to do it?
I think
If
that our
the situation
lawlessness
calls
is-
for it, I will tap my.
Oops.
I'll. If the
Scratch your
situation
elbow.
calls for it, I'll. Yeah. Easy. And I'll make my way. Do you have any other questions before I leave with Osiris?
Yes. Is our group rubbing off on you and making you a little bit vigilante?
I think the term you look for is paranoid.
Oh,
I was always paranoid. This place just quelled it a little. It's good to be. It's good to be where you could at least call home for a couple days, even though I'm smack bang of enemy territory.
Are you coming, or am I just going to teach these students myself?
Look, you can teach them, just no killing, light
So-
bruising,
so-
maiming at most.
So Jakova, over the last basically week and like almost 2 weeks, you've been saying how you're disguising yourself, dyeing your fur, growing this out. Yeah. Do you have a disguise kit?
I did. I assume I used up the last of my charges, so. I'll
Do
just
me a
put as-
favor. You don't have proficiency in disguise kits though, do you?
I don't believe so, so it's literally like the best he can do.
Yeah. Could you roll a flat? What do you think, AJ? Charisma, wisdom, intelligence?
Would he have asked
Performance?
for help? Like, could I help him with disguise kit, which I am proficient with?
Also, I say
Mental
flat. I'm
card.
gonna say you have 14 days. You're gonna roll this with advantage anyway,
Okay.
but it's gonna be a stat check, not a skill check.
Do you want me to just roll a d20?
Into card, so
It's either on -1 or +1 or a 0. So we'll just go with the 0. Just roll a flat
I'll
d20.
just roll a flat d20.
So with advantage. 19. Okay. So
How
over the
two
course of
makes you
travel,
10 out.
considering you have very white fur, it is very easy to dye it. Your mustache is growing in nicely. It took a little bit of effort, but you've got it. You're one of those people who grow facial hair very quick. But as long as you're wearing
got that
clothes,
down.
as long as you're wearing clothes, you look. What color would you like to be?
I think most of my dyes were black for the most part.
Yeah, you could be black or brown if you
Would
want
you
it
like
to
to
be.
look like Scar from Lion King?
You could use the dirt. You are on the border of the savannah. You
Yeah,
did.
you know what? We'll go with
to be
that.
like more of a ready.
That'll go with the name I've got there.
So you're it's sort of like a ready tan.
With a black mane.
Yeah.
God.
Okay.
At least it'll
So, yeah.
wash off.
If you didn't know it was Jakova, for the most of you, at a glance, you would not think he was ever a white lion. And you hope that'll work in your advantage, Jakova.
Okay, so we're gonna be real with you. We totally forgot that you left your cart in Andavite in Tartarus.
Wondering what was happening with that.
Would you have taken it out or just paid for more time to be stored? Or would you have forgotten it completely? There's
Didn't
your
we
three
sell it?
options.
Yeah, no,
No.
we sold it.
I think we
I
sold the
thought we kept it,
horses
didn't we?
and kept the cart.
It ended up being way cheaper to store it, so you guys just paid for it to be
yeah,
stored.
you're right. It was like 2 copper or something.
Yeah.
It was
it's
a
like 2
copper
night.
a day for food
Yeah.
for the
I think
horses.
you paid-
and, like,
Oh, okay.
You paid for a month, but you're almost at the end when you got back. So, well, you had a week left.
I thought we sold it.
You sold the
No,
original
it was
one,
cheaper.
didn't you? Or was that the
Uh-huh.
original
I
one?
thought we
don't
sold
remember.
it as well, but I don't know.
It was what, 2 copper a night for food and board for it, so
The Fifth Foundation.
Fifth Foundation.
I'm looking at notes.
Okay, easy way is, do you want to have the cart with you, or is it still there?
Sure, we'll bring the cart with us
Okay,
if we had
okay.
the opportunity to pick it up.
It'll reduce the time a little bit, but it won't change it much. So instead of the 27th, it's the 29th, because the Savannah is on the road.
The other way around.
Instead of the 29th, it's the 27th.
It's just like you're all walking into Absolem, and then the camera just like pans up and pans down, and you're all on a cart entering Absolem instead.
As you entering Absolem, it is 9:37. So we'll take our bio break, and I'll switch off the server, turn off the mod, and then we'll re-buck in. But yeah, bio break time for people.
I'm a BRB.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I like how that was served up to me on a silver platter.
Hey Kim, did you like our
Derek.
puzzle?
Did
She's
you
not
like
here.
the puzzle, Kim?
She's not here. I know she left.
Yeah.
We
Should
want-
check for updates while I'm waiting.
Sharing is caring. No.
Darian, is that going to happen every time there is a seamless...
What?
if there is a seamless Echoes joke?
What?
We don't know what you're on about.
Negative inspiration? Yeah, you can do it every single time.
Fuck yeah!
I
I want to have a conversation this session about a name for this group.
Oh, don't worry. I was thinking that I might just make one up for you if you don't do it.
I've got one in mind. I just want to see if the party's up for it.
Local Dash Tower extension. There we go.
There will be one game that I'm in that will have a name, even if it kills me.
But yeah, that the thing with the lions, we've had that idea since Jakova had his one shot. That was ready since then, but we changed it up.
Guru avoiding his family like the plague as well.
I bet.
Hey Kim, did you enjoy our a thing that we told you was gonna happen?
See, I knew it was gonna happen. I wasn't expecting who.
I assume M had to dip his family reasons again.
That's what I've said.
Yeah, she did. Yeah.
Sorry, I wasn't. I ran off to get food.
I want to hit someone.
What are you talking about, Kim? I thought it was a lovely dream.
It wasn't even a dream.
No, it wasn't. It was more like a daydream.
The reason we says like it doesn't matter what you think, so we thought the immediate thing he was gonna ask you, who the fuck are you?
That's what the wisdom. That's what the wisdom save was for.
Or like, why did you take the sword, or something like that?
Wisdom save. Yep.
Yeah.
I
would've
was ready to
loved
make
if you
the
did.
joke about what is the wingspan of a sparrow.
Oh my god, you would have thrown me off.
They'll just be like,
thought it would be
no,
best
and get kicked out.
I would have punched you.
I gotta be honest, even as a player, I'm not even sure how to process what the fuck you two did.
You're welcome.
Like, I think I know how Jakuba will try to handle this, but like...
I was waiting for it to rhyme, and then it didn't.
Also, I was curious, so with that roar, did that like wake anyone up, or was that like just not... Was that all in his head?
I think that was in your dream.
Should I re-tick the thing when we get back?
I'll put a long rest on. Are you ready to join?
Let's just have
Yeah, it's working.
But yeah, it was like if someone was up with you, we would be like, they don't say any of this.
No, they just see me sleep roaring.
No, yeah, but in response to all that, fuck you.
Hey, look, God is angry. God is curious at you, there, Jakubra.
Is it?
I don't know if this is the work of a god or a curse.
I reckon it's both.
I
call
want to
Damon.
be so fucking badly, but I want it to be a bit different.
Just roll a 42 again.
Alright, yeah, sure,
Is,
no worries. Yeah, here you go.
Christine
There you go.
going to tell anyone?
actually.
I gotta stop.
Rolled a 42.
What the
Hey, you know what's funny,
hell?
Kim?
What?
Yeah, we didn't tell you to roll on the table, so nothing happened.
Yeah, I'm not using it. Like, but it's
Yeah.
still funny.
I would.
Oh, you wanna save it?
No, it's fine. I'm not gonna save it.
I'm not.
Fuck
I wanna
that.
save it. Oh, okay.
If we saved it, if we save it, that's not a like, oh, next time use it. I will drop that on you one time. Fuck your roll.
Yeah.
This is what you're doing now.
You can do that if you want.
Kind of like the idea of us just pocketing that whenever we feel like.
We'll do it right at
want
the
it?
end of the campaign.
I'll agree. You can
I'm
pocket
pocketing.
that.
Let's pocket that, AJ.
Alright, well, it's pocketed.
I told you I'd roll a 42, motherfucker.
That's insane. So, is she gonna keep that one buried inside until it?
No, they're
takes her
keeping
away?
that. They're keeping
No,
that.
she's
I don't know
talking
what's
about
happened.
your actual, like, the thing you did. Like, you got up angry afterwards. Did you explain to anyone why
Oh
you
no,
got up
fuck
angry?
no, of course not.
I'm gonna say she's gonna bury that one deep inside.
Yeah.
Festus.
Until she has her answers.
Ah, so she has to do the trials. Okay, that's fine.
I cast repressed at 2nd level.
Kimmy.
No, no.
Are you feeling the depression this session?
Dimitri, she doesn't have
Yeah.
to do the trials. Just that not doing the trials is a bad idea.
Is a very, very bad idea.
Like Darian's message, pocketed 32 on Kim for when we want to make it hurt.
And then I pinned it.
I want to hit you guys so bad.
You can in 2 weeks!
That's literally what I said to Gary.
You're gonna bully
Try
us.
Alright.
Okay,
Fuck you.
before we get to break, because we've got Thuggies for doing that, are the 2 girls going anywhere in particular? I'm assuming Tara's gonna join Osiris, because she's sort of attached to him.
That's fair.
Felt like we got left out.
You can follow.
There are
I know.
there's
don't
also other places,
There are
but
there is
I
a
haven't
shop.
told you about them yet.
Like there is some shops here you can buy basic goods. There's an inn you guys can go set up and organize things in if you wanted to. You can go look at the horses because there is like the big deal of Absolem is their horses
You should pick up a dwarf
and
while you're
donkeys.
here.
Question.
Mhm.
With the name that you gave me for, is it meant to be 2 U's or is there meant to be an I in the middle?
Oh, it's 2
It's
years.
2 years.
Because I
Okay.
put the eye in the middle, and then Darren is like, no, this is funnier.
We're not doing that.
No, he said this is funnier. He didn't say we're not doing that, because we did it. He just
His
got
name is
rid of
basically
the eye.
His name is basically Horse Master
Okay.
Centaur Horse.
Yeah.
Just
His name is
needed to-
Chiron Equus. It's Centaur
Ju-
Horse.
Just needed to, just not
Make
roll
sure.
that.
Quiz.
No.
You're
Who's
100
not
Sal.
ticked? Is that me not ticked? That was not
How we
me.
doing?
not
Not me.
ticked. Okay. Yeah.
Ah,
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. We can go back to the game.
Yeah, so
now.
what are the girls doing?
So depending on what Osiris was like, sort of leaning towards, was he just like standing in the middle of the road, or was he like planning on sort of wandering?
I was asked to go with them to like snoop into some people's brains because they have trust
Right.
issues.
Yeah.
So welcome to come. You
I
just want to see a shit show happen. That's probably what's gonna happen.
Annoyingly, I'm not prepared for this.
I'm
I
probably not going to go, just because I feel like this is Jakova and Judas's thing. I'm just going to sort of just find like general stores and just window shop.
Hey, you can come. We did your trials. You have to do our one.
You didn't really sound like you were offering.
don't tap them, they'll use Wish against us.
They will.
Not yet. Nah, I'm gonna go window shop.
Okay.
I think I would eventually move towards where they're going.
Okay.
But not really decide until a bit later, because I got nothing else to do.
Well then, as you all wander off, as the group that is heading towards the Temple Fortress, boarding,
Roll initiative.
you see this.
Oh jeez.
Ah.
Nice shack.
The temple fortress is a myriad of buildings. This is it's got a myriad of buildings. On the left, there's this is mainly for Judas and Jacoba to remember. On the right, sorry. On the right are the two dormitories, the barracks for the recruits, the paladins that are stationed here, and the acolytes that trained there. And the small red one is for the servants. Small farmland, because you're taught to grow crops. The middle building is a large warehouse where they store things that are necessary. On the right, at the top, is the stables, and the bottom is the small jail that they use for when they need to host a trial within their church. And the center building is where all the learning and the magic happens.
Yay!
As you approach the gatehouse, you see two eyes. Well, not really eyes. Two men standing on the period hats at the top, looking down at you, and it's like, "State your business."
Long time.
Friend. I am Ruvage, and this is my escort to this lovely place. His name is Judas, though that might be more your business. I simply wish to get a tour of the place, all the temples, and he offered to provide.
Is he a prospect, eh?
He's looking. He's certainly got the build for one. I'll tell you that much.
The one elbows the other one, looks up like, yeah, I could see that. What about the turtle? Sorry, turtle. My bad.
Turtle.
I am Osiris. It is a pleasure.
He is a companion we picked up along the way. He has been keeping us safe. You know, the roads are dangerous.
Alright, well, you got an eye with you. That's
Get your
Yeah,
entry.
yeah, that sounds right. And okay, and just steps back.
They open the gates. It takes a couple minutes for them to open it, but you open the
Well, I'm
gates.
familiar with these guards.
I had to think for a moment.
Yes
actually,
and no. They're
I'd say no. You wouldn't know these two. You know that
personally.
they make they basically make the recruits do the shit jobs to teach them discipline.
No.
So these would be the new round of recruits.
As I open the gate, I'd be like, "Let me guess," and I put my finger up to the two of them. You probably what, 3-4 months in? I'd say he's about 1.5 years.
How do you know? That's not right.
Gronok.
Fucking detectives.
Gernok doesn't show age. One
Sorta.
looks human, one looks like an orc.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've only been 3 months. Yeah, not a big deal. Gernok here's a bit of a slow learner though. He's been here maybe a year and a bit. Yeah, so what?
Gernok
Good
does
to
not
see
need
we
speed.
got good, strong, competent ones such as yourselves guarding these walls. I used to have that job too. Don't worry.
He stands up a little straighter and kind of smacks Gernok in the chest and rubs his hand because Gernok is wearing armor. He's like, yeah, good, strong, competent members of the Eyes to be. Now, thank y'all for coming through. And Gernok, what do they do next?
They go into the church.
Yeah, we do.
All right, have a good time. Enjoy the church.
Rivage thanks you and gives a sort of hands together bow.
He does the weird head bow as well, but he's very clunky at it. He's like, we don't have a gift shop.
Remember to leave a rating with our Master of Arms.
Or he will hit us.
Osiris just mouths, "What the fuck is going on?"
Considering who the Master of Arms is.
Would that be Sil or would that be Ricard?
They are not.
That's different.
They're different. You
They're
don't know.
different. Okay.
When you training here after the Jakova incident, you would know the Master of Arms.
Left?
Yes, the Master of Arms. Actually, you didn't do it. Okay, so the Master of Arms that you would both remember would be Epis Skidslate, which was a rock gnome. He was not one of the people you crossed paths with, Jakova, because he would probably beat your ass up and down the frickin' place.
There's a good reason for that.
You mainly went after like some of the paladins and a couple of the acolytes, and then tried to hit the headmaster when stuff went wrong. So you don't know if you finished the job or not.
I don't remember much. It's kind of blurry.
Hey, tell me, for my own curiosity, is Epis still around here?
Yes, he is small and hit hard. Gurnok does not like training with Epis. Master Skidslate, please do not. Gurnok will be on the previous.
That, my friend, will be our little secret. And I give myself and I give a hearty chuckle, a salute, and a walk in.
As we walk past them, Osiris sort of turns to the both of you and asks, "So, do they call Baby Eyes pupils, or?"
Yeah. They're recruits.
It's a long
Thank you,
story.
thank you. Somebody laughed.
No,
All I
I
wanted.
okay.
was
It
muted
took me a
while
little
laughing.
moment. It
It's
took
good.
me a little moment.
I had to
Jeremy, I just
unmute.
didn't unmute myself for it.
Yeah, so.
You deserve to hear that laugh.
Oh,
I want to
God.
rename them, but I don't want to as well.
Come on.
Is it funnier? Is it funnier though?
Funnier than recruit? Yes, it's funnier than recruit.
Yeah.
Then it's pupil.
It also fits like perfectly. Cause,
Yeah, it's got a double meaning.
Fuck you and your stupid pun.
Alright.
Jeremy creating law right now.
Now, Sir Judas, Rivage here, myself, Rivage, would like to be shown to the temple. Show me around.
He just went AFK.
Yep.
10 out of 10.
10 out
Should
of
have brought
10.
popcorn.
Good timing.
Let's see, when you approach this large structure, the mill, you notice that one side is only a single, I think it's what, single story?
Yes.
2 stories? Yeah. Where you see a large opening that leads to what seems like a sort of amphitheater in a way that drops down. You would know from being here that's where a lot of the training is done, martial-wise, a lot of physical exercise. And the opposite entrance, the one to the right on the map, goes into the church itself, which is this large 3-story steepled structure that it's basically it's the big ass church for this entire region and the surrounding like small towns. And then at the very back, this 2-story structure in the center that connects them, and then a large like bell tower at the very back.
Well, Rivage wishes to see how they train.
Let me-
Since Dimitri is AFK,
You
head into the church.
I'd say we start in the church would probably be the safest bet. Mostly because that's where we told the guards we were going, but...
So the 3 of you, 4. Well, let's say Tara's not here just for convenience sake. So the 3 of you start making your way towards the church. Let's just briefly, until Judas gets back, flick back over to the others. Christine and Selena, what are you 2 doing?
Well, I thought Christine was going.
Christine's gonna
with-
swing in at like
A bit
going
later.
to try and swing. in.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm window shopping, but I'd like to maybe roll some perception checks just to like sort of listen in on conversations and stuff if there's anyone around.
Yeah, there's a decent amount of people in the town. Feel free, roll some perception. Roll perception.
Okay.
Perception or streetwise though?
Well, technically streetwise, but
yeah.
streetwise would be best.
How do we do streetwise again?
It's-
I don't
it's
know.
on your
sat in
sheet.
there.
Hey.
It's not on your sheet. Let me put it on your sheet.
What? Illegal.
Streetwise.
People.
Streetwise people. There you go.
Should I get a +5 to that? I feel like
You do have a +5 to that.
Charisma.
Wow. I just feel like she's not the most streetwise person, but I guess, yeah.
Streetwise is going up to people and asking for directions and talking about what the gossip is. You can roll perception if you feel like you're just going to be listening in.
I probably will sort of like ask a little bit. Maybe like if I go into shops, because I'm going to be looking at stuff, I'll probably ask like the shopkeepers like if they've heard any rumors or anything like that.
Okay.
I'll probably try to find an inn at some point to sort of like set us up, and I'll probably ask in there. So
Okay.
Roll away.
Roll away.
Natural 20.
I like those
Okay.
nat 20s.
You get a recommendation for an inn almost immediately when you mention it.
Yep.
And it is a nice, you hear it's a nice family-owned establishment run by a beautiful couple. It's called the Tiefling and Genasi.
Ah, that's cute.
Genasi?
Yep.
I love it.
AJ will post in the chat. There you go.
I love it.
Yeah, you're asking around about like, things going on, where to stay, and immediately people, like, the first person you talk to recommends this place. It's like, oh, it's a lovely place. And the couple, to die for. They're so cute. They brew their own tea and their own alcohol.
It's not
That
too
sounds
strong
amazing.
as well, so it should be good for someone of your frame.
It's good for all types, and he, like, smacks the...
What? She looks thin. She should eat more.
Oof.
That's fair. It is kind of hard to get a good feed on the road.
See?
Beautiful breakfast.
The eggs are very good.
I'll definitely have to go check it out. Thank you.
And moving through, you're asking about rumors and things going on, and you do learn of this event that goes on in the Absolem Fiefdom that you have not previously known of because you rolled incredibly badly. Known as the was it the Absolem Expedition?
The expedition, yeah. But you mainly be hearing mostly about, it's like, all those boys from the expedition, they did well. Heard that we're graduating at the end of the week.
We hear like there's a big event that happens every month or every season or so called the Absolem Expedition, and apparently one of them returned a few weeks ago. From what you can gather from like listening in and talking to people, it's a group comprising usually from the Martial Academy and also from sometimes with the Ayers, the temple. They head out into the wastes on like a big expedition to pretty much kick the shit out of Three Green. The idea is to go in there and stop the threat forever, but after a few weeks they usually return, and yeah.
Okay. And a group headed back like recently.
Yep. About was it 2.5 weeks ago?
Yes.
Just over 2 weeks. A
Just
group
over a
returned from the
fortnight.
wastes.
Were they like successful? Like, was it sort of like a yay? They came back and they did good.
It did
It's
the
kind of
best
one of
they
those
could.
things where they're always considered successful because people come back alive.
Okay.
Where it's like everyone's always like, ah, yes, the returning warriors back from the good fight. They're never like, oh, how dare you return with less people. It's like, good job, you didn't die.
It was sad. 3 of them didn't make it this year, but that was less than last time.
Anything else of note?
Anything in
Furiously
particular
scrolls through my notes.
you're after?
You can sort of just listening to like rumors of like problems, like it's similar things to like what was happening in Drakazul, where they had like the suddenly like undead and just like things of like malcontent, because I'm a little concerned about gates opening.
It's like, nothing here. I mean, it's not really bad news, but the zoo's got a new exhibition. Pretty close towards Gizland, so we recently learned that the king is ill. He's bedridden.
Oh.
Rip.
Oh. That's not
Big
good at
Decker,
all.
bye bye.
Do you know, like, much more about that at all? I come from Gizlane, you see.
Oh, only what news passes along the roads, and from all we know is that he's sick. apparently, at the moment, his son is acting as the king while he's ill. But that's all they've really told.
Thank you for the information.
Sorry, we don't get as many travelers through these parts.
I understand. You've been very helpful. Thank you. And I'm gonna take that news.
That's what a nat 20 earns you.
Yeah.
Hey,
Thanks.
is Dimitri back?
Yeah, I've been back for a while.
Awesome. We flick back to the others. You're in the place. You're walking towards the church. There you go. Boom.
As you enter the church, you're trying to be as silent as possible, opening this large door. But you hear, as you walk in, "And what's your evidence?" And then you see a person wearing purple robes, similar to Judas's, like, well, he's not in his full armor, he's got this tabard sort of deal. And they start explaining, like, a list of evidence and showing and presenting it. It looks like there is a trial being commenced on here. There seems to be two people on the... there seems to be two people on each of these tables down at the bottom. One person seems to be on the left. They don't look like a prisoner from what you remember. They look like just a man dressed up in orange. One second.
By the type of evidence being given and stuff, would I be able to discern what type of crime is being tried here?
Yep, go ahead.
You can do either a religion or a history or an investigation.
Religion. Well, I'm not trained in history, but I am in religion and investigation, so I'll do investigation.
Alright, you look around and you take a moment focusing in your attention to the things you learned, and you actually realize, glance at each person in the room, this isn't a real trial.
Yes,
Mock trial?
It's a mock trial.
Yep.
It's like a lesson.
You can see that everyone here is in a different position, but they all seem to be recruits. Or there are a couple, like, people that you notice are actual gavels, but they seem to be the assistants on each of, like, the plaintiff and the defendant. And you see as this one playing the judge considers everything for a moment, and he's about to slam that hammer down, and then you hear booming from above you, because these pews that you're standing around underneath, they're sort of like half a floor up. And you hear, "Alright then. Now, what did you think this was going to be? I'm not going to let you finish this trial, but did you take in all evidence?" And basically this whole, like, actual teaching section happens as this person that you can't say at the moment is explaining things. I would like for Judas to roll history. You remember this voice. This is a loud, booming voice. It's almost like a Goliath in depth, and it seems very similar to Braylov. You know this is the voice of... Oh, sorry, I'm scrolling all over the place.
Pietro Ivan Smok,
who is a Loxodon. And you know that he's the instructor of Oath and Divinity, and he also does stuff like this to make sure that everyone here is impartial. He's like one of the three main, like, teachers of this place.
So yeah, what are you going to do? You enter basically as this class is, like, happening.
I resist every single fiber in my being to not cast Major Image and have Phoenix Wright yell objection. Because I grabbed Major Image.
Good point.
Is that voice familiar to you, Judas, in any way? Oh, it's so hard to keep this fact.
Are you... Do me? Type if you're here.
Did he fucking run off again?
No, I want to make sure his mic
Did
didn't...
he show us a sign?
Okay, your mic's screwed up again. Alright. You fixed that.
There are no signs.
We thought we fixed it.
There are no signs, only coincidences in life.
As,
Only Zool.
No.
As you hear this talking, you hear a lot of it, and eventually, like, it gets to the point of, well, if you were paying attention to the evidence, you would have noticed that something wasn't said.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's a contradiction and it would have had an impartial judgment. So as a judge, you need to be able to recognize all evidence and take it all into note. And he's mainly just talking to the one that's pretending to be a judge at the moment. And then as that finishes, he starts going over and conversing with the ones that's playing to be a defendant and the one that's trying to be a plaintiff. And then he looks over as he looks down, sees the lot of you, like gives a bit of a wide-eyed, oh, Judas is back, but then turns back to the class and goes to the stenographer, and we'll review your transcripts at the end of this. Steve.
Shrug.
Steve, look, you know, he's very pale. You can think that he didn't do very good transcripts.
Is he a ginger white boy?
No. Pale is in like when he's like, we'll review
fuck.
your notes. He has
Oh
like,
fuck.
oh fuck.
Did I know that feeling?
I've been taking it.
I lean to the others like my mage hand to be so tired.
But for now, you can all return. It seems we have some guests in the church that wish to pray, I assume. Go have your break, early mess hall. And they all clamber their things, they nod to Pietro, and then they all like leave behind you.
I give a solemn nod of approval. The slightest of a you did good, kid. You did good. Look, and I will approach Pietro.
Are you going?
I just think he's a fool for approaching.
Are you going out and then in and then all the way up because he's on the balcony?
Oh, yeah. I try to go towards Pietro. Pat my head. Remember, go out, go there, go back in, go up. Long time no see.
Should we have followed him?
I'm gonna stay down here.
It has been a few months.
Yes.
Aye, Judas. What brings you here?
Fortunately, my superiors surprisingly brought me here today. Have a bit of an errand they want me to run to make sure everything's going alright. I heard what was going on with Helmerus. Backed up my way through the what's it called? Blast, I can never remember names. Pride.
Pride what?
Pride for Pride. That one. And after seeing it was practically barren, came back here to make sure if everything was alright. I'm kind of traveling with the group at the moment, but they seem like good people. Currently on a case and need help investigating.
What seems to be the case?
Some it's very touchy. Someone might have been forging
records and some stuff. I'm not sure where they are, I just know they're here. And I need to find them. The records.
Are you whispering, Judas?
Yeah.
Then I'll probably
I
you
wouldn't
can't do
be
that.
able to hear it.
Yeah, it's above you, and he's talking quietly.
Yeah.
I just figured because it'd be a empty place and my passive's alright, but that's the case.
What's your
I'll hold
passive?
off. 15.
What do you say, Darian?
With a 15, you have pretty good perception. Given the room is large and cavernous, you can hear that they're talking.
Mhm.
If you want to make a perception check to try to like listen in as well, go for it.
Okay, I'll do that if that
Yeah.
helps things out.
Passive means you can definitely hear they're talking, but you can't make out the words they're saying. Because it's like, what bits you do hear are also like echoing a little bit in like the whispers, and it's overlapping itself.
I will wait until a specific clear word is said by Judas then. So it goes from mumbling to something that could be interpreted as, okay, if you're paying attention, it would be now.
Your superiors brought you here to look for forgery case. May I ask who they are?
Jack and Frederick.
Jake and Frederick. Oh, well then, if they're investigating something, then it must be important. Can have a look at our archives.
Is it alright if I have a he's a little scrappy little cub, but is it alright if I have him accompany me? Sorry, just something in my throat. That if there ever was a key, that would be it.
My god. I think Jimmy
I don't say if there ever was a queue, that would be it. I don't say that. Nor do I say this.
Okay.
Does Osiris recognize the cue?
I think Osiris is AFK.
I'm going to
Never
choose
mind.
that Jeremy does not recognize the no.
Well, he said
No, I
he says he
recognize
used
it. Sorry, I forgot I was muted.
There we
It's
go.
funnier if you don't. Okay.
Oh, it would be hilarious.
So what do you?
Funnier, but this is my whole point of being here.
So you're asking if you can bring a Leonin with you, and then you pointed to Rajvak.
Rivage.
Rivage.
He
Ravajaja.
he's been following me for a while. Frederick said don't bring him along, but Jake was like, he seems quite useful. Could make a very good squire, or at least a good recruit. So I thought.
As long as you keep an eye on him, there should not be a problem. We have had not good results with Leonin, if you remember.
I'm very aware. This one's a little bit more tame than. Well, anyway, it is a pleasure to see you again. I know it's only been a couple months. Everything been going okay? How's affairs?
We have a round of graduates ready to graduate at the end of the month, which means our standing paladins will have their new work assigned to them. It's going well. These new recruits need a bit more work, but they're fine.
And how's the old gnome going?
He is as cantankerous as ever.
Ah. I thought he was just like that because I was hobgoblin, but no. He's just like that to everybody.
Exactly. Well, if that is all, I must retire. I have a transcript to look at.
Alright, we'll be I'll be in town for at least a couple days. See if I find anything. Enjoy yourself. And I will give a salute, deep bow, and I'll go back downstairs.
Okay. Oh, did we skip over your detect thoughts?
Yeah, I think we did.
I was just gonna say something once the conversation was over.
Go for it.
No, I meant about the detect thoughts.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, go for it.
Yeah. So because you detected thoughts when you made a look at at Jakova. Yeah, it's really like just the same thing. It's like we don't. It's mainly like just talk, because he didn't seem to be here for the Jakova incident, so he's mainly just recalling information about that he should really talk like that about Leonin, because not all of them are bad, but the one that they did have is sort of an
Not
asshole.
all Leonin are like that, even though this
The burning of
Leonin is
98.
bad.
This Leonid has never been in this building. I don't drunk about.
So
It's
there was
burning of
nothing in
86.
his psyche throughout the entire conversation when, after I triggered it, that caused him to be like, not stutter in his head, but be like, okay, yeah, no, not that, don't think about that, that's fine, that's not what this is about, nothing's happened.
So probably one of the only things that would be interesting to you is when Judas mentioned Jake and Fred. You guys know of them as like big deal, big shots, irises.
Something like that.
Yeah. When he thinks of them, he just thinks of them as like the equivalent of middle management out of Andavine.
So
His skimming thought is like, oh, he's working under only someone that high up. He mustn't have, like, he basically is thinking like, oh, Judas mustn't have risen very far if he's only working under like a middleman.
Okay. With that thought process, is that more like because he would be uninformed that they might possibly be any higher? Like, is this information sort of, I don't know if this is how it worked, but like backdated?
You declare, you remember, I would say with your intelligence and your age, that when they were talking about Iris, they were like, no one knows this is happening.
Mm-hmm.
Full stop.
Full stop.
Okay.
This investigation is off the books.
Okay.
So
Not sure
like,
if,
Which means you have a little bit of concern.
okay.
Because he named them.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Opened his fucking mouth.
Yep.
Yeah, he has a perfect sized foot shape in his mouth every time.
so, you know, I'll give Judas some credit. He mentioned them.
did.
That's not the bad. That's he opened his mouth, but he didn't shove the foot directly down his own throat, being like, "I'm here to investigate." Gavel."
Exactly.
Yeah.
That would have been eating the boot.
But there still is a boot there waiting.
The boot is being flavored at the moment.
It's like Schrodinger's boot.
I was gonna say it's an entree, but that works too.
So while
Wait.
they're having this conversation and you're listening in, Jakova, what are you doing?
I'm just sort of step, sort of down slowly, running my claws along, sort of alongside the table, just looking at the place.
Okay. Just wandering around, kind of like running your hand over the table. Do you have good memories or bad memories about this place? Because last time you were here, several parts of it were on fire.
Jakuba is noticing his memories are actually fuzzy.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You know, make a history check.
I will say that a lot of these, like the tables that you're next to, they're new.
Oh, that's good new furniture.
13. Yeah, as you're walking through and like you have a fuzzy recollection at night because it was pretty grunting baby. It was pretty
Don't mind our child.
it was pretty intense when
His
you were last
memories of
here.
it would be, I honestly would say, out of character, would being closer to probably bloodlust
Exactly.
rather than actual remembering doing it much of it.
Yeah,
And
you, as you're
that's sort of saying he doesn't know if he fully did it or not.
as you're standing here, like looking around the area, you get little flashes of like that fuzzy memory, and it's literally of like this room on fire, like the judge's bench, like tipped over and flaming, the pews where Judas is currently standing, like flames slowly creeping up those aisles. and yourself like walking out towards the door and passing like a body that is so like covered in like a massive pool of blood. Just some flickers.
Casual.
Not important right now. Where is that damn Judas?
So Judas, you go outside, go around, and start coming back in.
As he goes outside, I'm going to divide sense. Just to see if this place is fucking tainted. If there's any fucking fiends, I want to fucking know.
Okay, there are no fiends.
I'm not in the area yet.
Are there any celestials undead?
No undead.
You can tell.
No celestials.
Now that the god is here.
Good.
Uh,
It's consecrated or desecrated?
the church is consecrated.
Pog.
Anything desecrated in here?
No.
You, Chicago.
Souls.
Oof.
I want you to roll a perception check as you go outside.
Okay. Yep.
Natural one. So as you walking out, you walk outside. You don't. Oh, you get an inspiration to reroll 7. It's okay. You walk outside and you turn
Hey, what?
and start making your way towards the church.
Wait, didn't you use the inspiration earlier?
He used his inspiration.
He did.
Yeah.
Either
I
way,
couldn't
it's a
roll.
nat 1.
Oh.
You walking along, you start heading towards the church, and you don't notice anything. But as you pass, the camera kind of like locks on the gatehouse for a moment, and it zooms in. And so, Christine,
Yo.
you were following after them for a few minutes after.
Yeah, I feel like the initial part would have been just to kind of like see where they're going, just to know where they're going, like exactly, and then just sort of seeing them pass through. Probably would have spent like a little bit of time just wandering around the base area just to see if I can just hear anything of note. Probably not communicating at all, just overhearing.
You just hear basically the bored chatter of 2 people up on top of where
Yeah.
like the gate opens.
Okay.
And that is what I told you. That is not a cow, that is a horse.
It could be a cow though.
No, the joke is that it was a cow.
Oh,
This is oak humor.
right. I don't get it.
That is
No,
fair.
that's-
I do not get human humor either.
That's fair. I don't get human humor half the time either, and I am one.
Are you ignoring random girl downstairs?
I was waiting for her to like make an entrance of herself. Like, you know, you can't be too rushed with these kind of things.
Oh, sorry, your
patience.
conversation was just so fascinating.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. That was me she's talking to.
Okay. Good luck is sorry.
Right.
Anyone happen to have noticed a hobgoblin come through eye regalia?
Yes. We would notice that.
Indeed.
Sounds like you didn't.
He came in 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Thank you. I wouldn't be able to happen to go by and have a chat with him, would I?
Well, you know, it's just, we've got, you know, guards on guard duty, and it's like they've come down to the front.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's just one of those things. We've got to ask you your intentions and stuff.
Traveling companion.
Hey, cool. So, do you like travel a lot with him?
Wait, I have an idea. As he places his hand on Tom's. What is Paladin's name?
Yeah, what's his name?
Do you canonically know his name?
I don't know his full name, no. I know him as Judas.
Gunlock realizes that we don't know his name.
We didn't ask his name.
No,
Fuck,
we
we're
didn't.
bad at
We're
this.
bad at-
Wow.
You know what, Gernok? How about
Did you
you
check
go...
to see? Did you check to see if he wasn't on it?
Oh, he had the armor on. Like, who would do that? But you know what, Gernok? Why don't you go find him and
Suspicious people.
ask, and I'll watch the girl, okay?
Okay, Gunlock will go look.
Bye bye. And like, Gernok walks away, and he just turns on here. He's like, "So, been in town often?"
You need silence. Just like a cast silent. Don't fucking talk to me.
You know, it's a pretty cool business. Being an up and coming eye, top of my class, they say.
Oh, really now?
Oh, absolutely. You can detect a mouse in a haystack.
What do you even get for being an eye?
Job, money, recognition, you know, prestige, all that fun, shiny stuff. You working for a righteous cause, those fun things.
Oh yes, faith. That's right, of course.
I gotta worship something, you know. Some people it's money, some people it's gods, you know. Why not both?
I prefer neither.
As that's happening, Gernok runs up to Judas. Hello, Hobgoblin Paladin. What is your name?
Judas?
We have found him. Come with Gernok.
Is this why I'm all the way down the other side?
Yeah, I'll not more good. And I'm assuming this whole time, I was just my Slayer has just been sitting outside the goddamn hall, and I'm like,
You probably would have dropped her off in the stables.
Yeah, they're probably off in the stables, off to the side.
Oh, I know that was Griffin thing.
yeah.
So Judas is going with Gernok back to the gates.
Yeah.
As you guys get there, you over here. The other one's like, so if you're not doing anything, I've got a free day.
Gernok has returned.
Oh, yep. So is he the right one, Gernok?
His name is Judas.
His name was Judas. You are, in fact, his companion.
This is nice. Oh, hi. How's it going, Christine?
Very prompt, Gernok.
Honestly, I didn't like wandering around doing nothing.
Gernok prides himself on his excellence.
Thanks.
That's it. It's something you should pride yourself on.
Yeah, no. I'm going to give you a commendation.
That would be very kind of you, Master Judas.
Definitely deserves it.
I feel like this one here does too, honestly.
Yep.
I reckon he does too.
Well, you're all here, so you can go on in. It's no point standing around. We're just guards on guard duty. Not a big deal. Not a big. Have a good day. And he starts walking back into the building.
You were attempting to woo the lady. I apologize.
No.
Just a little slight wave as they leave.
You see Jonas probably for the first time ever to be here. He is just he is audibly chuckling. A bit young again.
How many people like them are around here?
I don't know. I when I was here I was like 27. He was probably a lot younger than I am.
Oh, good to know, because that person's already been too much.
Oh.
What are we doing?
Well, I think I blew somebody's cover, so I'm going to be in the ship now. Basically, need to look for some. Yeah, look. Hey, that's my problem. But yeah.
We'll eventually come back to us. If that's the case, it becomes our problem.
As we walk through, I'm going to say in a hashtag, we're going to be going through some archives looking for gavel work. So if you see any discrepancies, anything that doesn't really add up, I know this is just boring casework or reading, but if you could help out a little bit, that would be very appreciated.
If we're even allowed anywhere near that stuff, sure. Otherwise, I was just thinking of being
No,
with
we are.
Cyrus.
I've got permission.
Yes, you.
I've got permission for all of us. I'm allowed to have many people with me, so as long as they don't damage anything. Copying those. If you have any spare parchment, try and note down stuff.
Alright.
Can we come back in at this point?
Yeah.
Cyrus is standing there with his arms crossed and his flute
That's
in his
not
hand.
because I know. Shut up.
And when you get close enough, he smacks you on the head.
Oh, it was
you
that
have
bad.
one job. Seriously.
Was it that bad, apparently?
You're a moron.
Yeah. Look. He asked who my superiors were, and I gave them out. So I didn't tell them what they were doing. but that's probably just as bad considering.
It could be worse. He, at least from what I could tell, rattling around in the old. He seemed to just be more on the side of, you haven't progressed far, which is
And
a
the
good place to be
conversation-
because he underestimates you.
And the conversation stops there in an empty hole. Okay.
This place echoes a lot, you all realize.
I'm talking in his
Yes.
head. I have telepathy.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Mention that.
Yeah, that's my bad.
I
My God.
assume.
I don't.
I assume it's a very slow conversation where he says to Judas, then he says to Christine, then he passes the message back and forth. And doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Well, we can go have a look at these archives that you said we had set up or whatever. And, well, I am quite proficient at resource gathering in large quantities.
All right. So you all start making your way towards. You make your way back outside, back around the side, back inside,
Hell yeah.
Head
and
up the
and
stairs.
start walking towards archives. So, this map has everything, doesn't it, AJ?
Yes.
Should we move them around so they can see what stuff's going on?
Yeah. So as you pass through this hallway, I'll just move Judas for the moment. This brings back memories for both Judas and Jakova of you having to be here exactly when dawn happens to salute the headmaster and continue on your way. Outside of you is the training halls and all the classrooms where you did basic work, and upstairs the offices. You know, the upstairs is where the archives are. 1 second, let me. Oh, I see everyone's moving around. 1 second.
There's
I'm
some
not
walls.
touching anything.
I ain't touching anything either.
Christine and Osiris. But before we get super into this group, what's Selena doing?
I went to the inn. If
Mhm.
I was at the inn when I was asking them questions, I can't remember if I was or not. I book a room, or like rooms for all of us. However much that's going to cost, I can't remember.
It's like, I think it's like 5 silver per person, so a gold per 2 people.
So
3 gold.
3 gold a night.
3 gold for everyone.
So
That includes
I'll
food and
just
stuff.
drop
Hell yeah.
down 3 gold a night. And I'm just going to retire to my room because I need to think about stuff, and she's sort of having a little bit of trouble containing right now.
Okay. As you jump back to the group, as you're walking down this hallway, you see another set of stairwells leading up. This goes into the headmaster's office. I'm going to be moving Judas, so Shrimp can see. As you head down to here, you notice that there's the 2 doors leading into. Oh, I guess I didn't make them doors. Leading into the offices of the Earth Speaker and the Battle Master. And down here are the doors to the scribes, the staircase to outside
The bell
of
tower.
no, that's the bishop.
Oh, sorry.
To the bishop's orders, and another balcony that's above the courtrooms, and then the doors down to where the scribes work, and then on the far corner next to the stairs is where the archives are. I thought I had doors. I guess I did not.
You didn't need them. What have doors done for you anyway?
Here, you guys make your way through here. As you coming in here, by the way, you see, by the time you're making your way back around, those people who Judas, Jakova, and Osiris saw in the courtroom are making their way out into like this courtyard area, which is like a sanded pit that's a few steps down in the center of that open air space, wearing bits and pieces of like training armor and holding training swords. As you see, they're getting ready for some kind of exercise, though you don't see anyone like you recognize with them yet. Basically, you pass them on their way to the next class.
Rivage wonders if he should go give him a sparring match.
No.
I'm here for one purpose anyway.
And that is?
I'm waiting for Sir Judas to let us
Yeah.
in.
Oh, yes. Oh, sorry. I'll let in. Is this library?
That's the scribes.
That's
here.
the scribe's office.
Next one over.
That's the archives, yes.
As you get in, you see, unlike before, which were made out of wood, you have metal filing cabinets that, when you open up, contain scrolls. There seems to be one acolyte working in here, seems to be sorting through a whole box full of like scrolls and papers that he needs to sort as you enter. Oh,
Thanks.
hello?
Hello, sir. How's it going?
Good. Do you need to have a look at the records?
Yes, I do.
Okay. I'll be in the next room. Oh, wait, which ones?
Actually, before you wander off there,
Yeah.
Sir Judas here has given us permission to tag along with him to assist in looking for some information. We actually have 2 topics we're after.
Yeah.
Sir Judas can elaborate on the main one, but I have been tasked with looking a little bit more into an incident that happened a few years back. Involving another one of my kind.
Oh, the burning. I'm not sure if we've got anything that was, predating there. We tried to salvage as much as we can, but there should be, in one of the ones you nearby.
Good.
The other one is just my superiors are having a little bit of trouble gathering a little bit of evidence, seeing if I could use past cases to inspire inspiration.
All the trials that have taken in the Upsolum fiefdom, since the incident that your friend mentioned, are in this room, alphabetized. Feel free to have a look.
Thank you. Give a nod, and I will let myself in, and I'll allow the other 2 to come in.
As you make your way in, like you see this guy goes into the other room.
I'll close the door behind me as well.
Yeah. As you see when this guy leaves to go into the attached room, Judas, because you're like basically walking next to him for a bit, you see there's 2 other people in that room as well. Both of whom seem to be like just writing a lot. They have like sheafs of paper and they're just writing. Nothing special.
It is at this point when that door, I will close the door. And when I do, I am going to cast See Invisibility and start looking at as many records as I can till the spell ends.
Okay. You cast the invisibility. You look around, there's no one invisible in the room.
Damn.
Lucky you.
Yeah.
And you start opening up and flicking through records.
Trying to find indiscrepancies in like cases.
In invisible ink?
Yeah. In invisible ink and in actual ink. Because it sees both. It's not like I can only see invisible things.
Alright, what is
Don't
Osiris
get so
doing? Let's look up the list.
Osiris will go through and look, and after, I assume covering a fair few of them, will get the idea on what's the status quo, and looks for anything abnormal that would stand out in comparison to how everything is filed.
Alright, Christine?
Submitted.
I feel like as someone who at least has a fair bit of knowledge with organization and kind of how things are laid out, similarly with Osiris, like I have to a little bit try my best to understand, even though it's all lordship which I have no clue about, at least try to pick out what doesn't seem right in the exact processes of everything, and trying to figure out, oh, this doesn't match this isn't matching this sort of thing.
Cool. And Judas, Jakova, you were saying you wanted to look more into like the night where shit happened?
Yeah, to be fair, he didn't tell Osiris. Judas what he wanted to look for here. So
Yeah. So that's what you're looking into?
Mhm.
I'm
Okay.
assuming he's looking into the shit I'm looking into.
Yeah. as far as you're concerned.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you can everyone make investigation checks.
I'm gonna use favor by the gods.
Okay.
Go for it.
It's only a +1.
I actually didn't hear AJ. Did the scribe point out to Judas where Jakova,
Yeah.
the last record? Okay, Jakova, you'll have advantage because you were pointed basically to where to look already.
I got an
Yeah.
unnatural 20.
What am I rolling? Sorry,
Investigation.
Advantage.
You got an unnatural 20?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
unnatural. Favor by the gods.
Yeah.
Natural fucking 20.
20.
With that -1.
Do I know to use hot breath to reveal invisible ink?
You could. You would.
Spoiler alert: there's no invisible ink.
Okay, just making sure.
I guess we'll go in descending order. Christine.
Oh,
With
you-
an unnatural 20.
with an unnatural 20, you were looking at discrepancies between stuff, yes? Like
Yeah.
previous information that you're going to look at.
particularly things that look like they don't seem correct in the sense of like something seems made up here. Like a story that got altered.
So you spend a lot of time flicking through different reports and whatnot, and a lot of it is just like court transcripts. It's like you're reading basically like stenographer reports what everyone says in court. There's a few interrogation transcripts which are like, you know, when an eye has talked to a witness or someone or even the perpetrator to just like get their tell on the things. You also do see a lot of like prisoner transfer documents, because you basically, from reading this, you find there's not a lot of like cells on site here, and they're sending them to like they usually transfer the prisoners to the Absolem's like prison. With an unnatural 20, you just notice that majority of things you're looking at, whenever you see them, like they always have a cell number. Almost always, like probably 9 times out of 10, the cell number they're transferred to is below 25. A few times it's above that, and every time it's above 25, the cell they're transferred from, there's like a from and to. The from section's missing.
I want to try to write down particular like information of the case, whether it be like the person, what number they were, and the to.
Alright, then make a dexterity check, see how quickly you're writing this down.
Cool. Flight dexterity.
Yep. Just how quick and like legible you can note this down.
Mm,
4.
It takes a bit of
Chicken
time.
scratch.
You look through a bunch of these
Oh,
notes.
tidesing.
no, I'm not liking that.
Okay.
Actually, why am I tidesing? I have inspiration. I wrote crest it.
Well, hey, you want to use your inspiration as well?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Hey, you're rolling to the 20.
Lucky feet?
Jesu. So, you do write things down pretty quickly, but the main thing is like it takes you a little bit to realize this pattern, and so a bit of your time is spent backtracking through things you've already looked at, trying to find those same reports.
Sure.
His next would be Jakova.
Next, just scrolling down from the rolls was Osiris.
Oh, okay. I see.
What were you?
Sorry, I clogged up the 3 rolls.
No, that's fine.
Yes.
Osiris, what were you looking for exactly? Just things that look off.
Yeah, things that either don't make sense or anything that looks like it's been doctored. That's not the right word, but
It's close to
close
it.
enough.
In that section, you're mainly having a look at some of the schoolwork that's been done, like fake trials, all this stuff. You do find lists of each season of the expedition. So, like, you see year 903 winter season expedition results, and you see a whole bunch of lists. Usually you have a look with your 18, you find out there's quite a few of these sections. You cannot find the one for the one that just passed. You cannot find one for summer 904. But you notice that there's probably like 6 or 7 recruits sent each expedition, and like for a couple times I sold like 2 return, and they're either marked as dropouts or graduates. They're either marked as casualties and deserters if they do not return.
Okay. So I'll mark down what dates those correspond to see if, because you said there was nothing of summer 904, so I assume these are by terms.
Yeah, by seasons. By seasons. So you found one for 903 spring, which would be the one before this, and then everything past that. But you haven't found the one for 904 summer, which is where you're in now.
Yeah,
Which
makes
is
ish sense.
Probably
kinda.
because it's still in the process of being made, or
Potentially.
Annoying.
Alright.
Dimitri with a
18. Everyone
18.
rolled really high.
What did you roll? Were you just general looking for stuff? Just looking over cases, looking for...
I was going to... Couple things. First thing, this was... I'm not sure if this was mentioned to me, but I would be looking at weapon transfers from the barracks, mainly to and from, and then I'd be looking at stenographer's notes and other sorts of evidence in trials in the various trials that do happen here, and see if there's any work of there is lack of evidence, but there are people being convicted or made acquitted because of, or being made acquitted even though there is overwhelmingly damning evidence that they have done something.
The latter...
The records of the finances, see if everything's going up to snuff.
Okay, so the middle one you were just talking about, a lot of this looks correct. All this information seems fine. There's nothing that's extraordinarily out of character for an eye to go through. No one has been jailed for large amounts of time. If it's a minor crime, they're put down months instead of like years or whatever. It's all fine in that regard. The former one, you see 2 reports from Headmaster Kiran Expa, which I'll spell out, regarding the lack of items have not been delivered, and they found out like they've got the order that they've requested, and then that it's not been delivered. That they've sent people to look for them, and they have not found any of the merchants that were supposed to deliver them or anything like that, and that he will require with his fuck, I forgot the term. His not really his boss, but his not informant, the one that's like the liaison. His liaison in Telnorus, Oath Speaker Clefos.
Oh god.
And there's 2 of these reports so far.
Fucking Clefos.
And the last one, you can't find any finances. The finances are not going to be in the archives. You know that the finances will be in the headmaster's office, most likely.
Okay.
Alright, and that's Judas. So Jakova, with your 19, you're flicking through reading reports, trying to find what you can about what was going on the night that shit went down, because your memory itself is pretty fuzzy. One of the first things you find is a list of the deceased, which has many names. It's not like 30 or 40, but there's about 12 names written down there, 4 of whom are recruits. At the bottom of the list, it's like the recruits who are there. It's like first name deceased, second name deceased, third name deceased. Judas Lawson, alive, next name deceased, Jakurva or Akva MIA. Then the next section is like the paladins in trading, like step above, and it's deceased. And you see all these names of people who died during the event. And then you're flicking through, and each time when you get one of these, you have that weird like little kind of flash of a brief snippet from that night. Nothing super clear. The next document you find is a list of damages that were done. You see a very extensive list that was done to the church from fire. And again, as you read it, you remember standing in that room as things burned down. You see a list of damages done to the storehouse to the south. And again, you remember standing there, walking out of that place as the fires just first sparked. And then you see damages done to this building you're currently standing in, the middle one. Though each time you're reading through them, you have these like small flashbacks to what's going on. There's one line that catches you off guard purely because you don't remember it. And it's mentioning damages to the armory. Like you see damages to the halls, you see damages to the archives. The archives especially have like 2 pages in terms of like lost records for like what cases were destroyed. You see damages to X, Y, and Z, but when you see damages to the armory, it catches you off guard from it because the armory is made of stone.
And
shouldn't have been damaged.
To the extent you've never stepped foot in the armory.
He sort of turns like he's going to sort of call Judas over, but then stops and is like, Cyrus.
Yeah.
Mind if I get you to come check something with me?
He waddles over with like a stack of papers he was going through at the time. Yeah.
And he sort of lowers his voice a little on this one. Armories, or specifically stone, wouldn't be damaged easily, would it? Not by even my fists.
I mean, it's no obsidian, but it is far stronger than wood.
But a simple punch wouldn't cause any damage that needs repairs, typically.
Typically not, no. What do you ask?
It's a little difficult to say, but... And he sort of... I may regret showing you this, and sort of shows the initial list, which was the, deceased as you listed off.
Am I overhearing this?
It's up to you.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if it's possible for me to overhear it.
Are you talking quietly, Jacobo?
I'm trying to
he
keep
said
it
he was, yeah.
quieter, yeah.
Because you're trying not to get Judas's attention.
Yeah, I'm keeping it quiet enough to get juice, but I assume Christine's sort of like between.
Let me have a look at perceptions here to see if
11.
12.
It's also, I imagine, not super echoey because there's a lot more packed in this room.
Yeah.
Like a 10 passive, so...
Yeah, you could speak low enough for Jacobo not to hear, but Christine could.
I mean, Judas.
Judas and yeah.
I can't hear myself.
I've done that 3 times. So.
I can't hear myself speak.
Okay, good to know.
Things that aren't quite adding up in what I recall, and even then I can't recall it perfectly. I don't think I ever set foot in the armory.
Do you think someone used what?
Well, as you can
This
see, I'm
person
listed as
did,
MIA.
making sure not to point you out as that, as a cover or a smokescreen for whatever game they had in there.
Perhaps.
Because they could have just written it off as it being destroyed and take whatever they want that was within. Were there any notes, or not notes, but did you know of any rumors of what might be locked up in there that they wouldn't want anyone getting at?
I think even with a history that'd be a disadvantage.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just because of the situation here.
Just while they're recalling, going through that stuff as well, could I be able to try listening out to see if anyone else besides us is maybe listening in or just wandering around the area?
Yeah, roll perception. You could walk around, see if the doors are open.
Yeah, because that's
step out
one thing. Noticing that they're talking about this, I can't really just tell them fucking quiet.
Yep.
But
We are
like,
being quiet. You just got very good ears.
that's the problem. If I can hear you, who else can hear you?
With a 1, an armory is typically where they hold equipment for like actual swordsman stuff. It's, you know that you weren't ever given like actual weapons. You were given metal like training equipment, but they were blunt. They were not useful in a fight. You knew that the armory stocked, like, if bad stuff happened and you needed to be deployed, they had armor ready to go, actual weapons ready to go in the armory. It was usually, and recruits and anyone lower than a fully graduated could not go into the armory by themselves.
Yeah, which makes it weird that this is being pointed out. I'm tempted to take these just so they don't have them, but that might raise more suspicion.
Here, let me just, and he'll get out a spare book and quill and just note down the important stuff.
Maybe let's
not
the
taking up
deceased
too much
sign
room.
too.
With a 12, Christine, you start walking around. You sort of casually lean back up against a door to see, and like you sort of roll your head to like place an ear behind it to see if anyone's sort of looking. This is mainly at the scribes one. You don't really, you just hear the scratching of multiple scratchings of paper going off, and as you like place your papers that you've got on the proper shelf, because you're not a savage, you're like, I'm gonna go.
No, please.
I'm gonna go.
I grew up in a good place.
I'm gonna go get some air, and you step out of the room to have a look if anyone's outside that door looking for you, and there doesn't seem to be anyone there.
The only things I'd need Cyrus to maybe note down for me is just a list of the deceased, so I can potentially maybe try and make amends with their family at some point. Or at least maybe ask them if they know anything. And just little details, but...
As you copy the list over, Osiris, you do notice that, like, you're having a look, you see that all these people that were supposedly the killed or hurt in this thing, you see that the headmaster was attacked, but was fine at the end of it, but he was hurt really bad, it says in the report. And you also roll a dexterity just to see how quick you are with copying. But it's not that you won't copy it, it's just mainly if you can do it without anyone.
My dex sucks. Is technically a +1.
I would have given you
So it'd be a
inspiration, but I
flat
used all
roll.
3 of my rolls.
So it is a 3.
Okay.
It's gonna take a bit.
It's taking a bit. You're mainly looking over the documents and you have a book open. You're sort of slowly like making sure you've got the right details in correctly. At this point, the scrolling stops in the other room, or at least a loud portion of it. 2 of them step out. One steps out to the front going for a stretch. And one steps into the rooms, like the one that was gunning before was like, do you need any more assistance? Some of us are about to go have our dinner and retire for the evening.
No, thank you. I think we're pretty sort of handled here. Thank you very much for your assistance, though.
Well, I'm supposed to look up the archives. You can have until I get back from dinner, but after that I'll have to ask you to leave.
Of course.
And the same thing is another acolyte sort of just looks at you, at Christine, and just like, reading's tiring, ain't it?
Honestly, I have a bit of experience, but I wasn't expecting to jump back into it so quickly.
Especially what they write. It's a lot of legal jargon.
Yeah, it's a bit more than I usually like.
Well, keep it up. He gets up and walks down the stairs that are near you.
Slight eye roll.
All the ones all the way at the other end. Is there anything you guys want to do You have enough time to do one specific thing before they need to come up and look up. So, is there anything else you're going to quickly do?
Just think.
I'm going to.
Oh, fuck, I don't know.
I'm going to quickly note down where said information that I just found out can be looked at in the archives, like cabinet number, scroll, that sort of thing, like a sort of shorthand index, and then I will come back to copy the record at a later date.
Since I have a bit more time and like another thing, I'm probably just gonna double and triple down onto what I saw instead of looking for something new. Just guarantee I have the information written down, or at least try my hardest. Like have everything properly like detailed as much as I can.
Okay. You pause. You go back to, instead of reading, you pack the ones that you packed away, and you grabbed all the documents that you were marking down before, and double checking and triple checking that you got the correct information and making sure that it's fine. And then you pack it away.
Yeah, that's probably going to be me, because it doesn't take too much time to grab it and to copy it, and it's not looking for something else that I don't really know anything about.
I would like to, from the information that I've just gleaned from Jakubra, to see if they've got so I don't know how to explain this. You know, when like house fire, right? So they got to fill out a form of everything that was destroyed, and then there would also be another form of everything that they've bought to restock it. I'm looking for like the armory restock of everything they bought, and to make sure that the numbers for what they bought add up. There was no extras
or negatives.
Okay. Yeah. Make another just quick investigation.
It is my speciality.
Yep. And you already know basically where to look because you know the area it was in. Yeah, so you're flicking through. It doesn't take you very long to find that kind of documents because, yeah, they exist. There is a lot of documents about like replacing all the pews, replacing the walls, like tearing out damaged wood and replacing it. For the armory, they just all that's listed there in terms of repairing is just mason. It's basically like masonry repairs. There's no like, they don't have like swords and shields and arrows and bows. It's just like masonry repairs.
So it's just that something was damaged in the armory, but nothing was taken for them to restock.
Whatever they've listed as being damaged in the armory, the only thing they've listed down for repairing in the armory, because the armory as well was just like listed as like basically down, like it was like armory integrity damage during the fire and during the night, and then the repairs are just listed as masonry repairs. It's very simplistic.
Going to be a dumb question then. The price they listed for the masonry repairs, does that seem more exuberant than what I think it might be for say
Roll
history with disadvantage.
Yeah, history with disadvantage or intelligence with disadvantage.
Yeah.
You're not a mason.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's fair. So
My
history or
God.
intelligence, because that's sort of because I'm half proficient in everything.
I'd say history because it's like you did study a lot of shit.
Okay.
This is basically more like a gauge of like how valuable things are.
Nice.
Still a fucking good roll. Looking at it, you can see that the costs involved are pretty big. You would think with the amount of like money put towards masonry repairs, it's almost like you would think they'd basically replace the entire room.
Okay.
Like you could almost build like a small house.
Damn.
I note
In
that
this
down.
economy?
Though that is like that, even that price, like you're like, oh, that's a lot of money for masonry repairs, and then you look at the church and it's like 7 times that amount.
Yeah.
That
But then,
doesn't
yeah.
something Jakubra would do on his own.
But then I assume the great smith that only works on furniture and construction must have made a fucking mint.
There's a
Potentially.
difference between masons and smiths. Very big difference.
Nah, it's just
Slight.
earth metal.
Earth metal.
Oh, feel free to go ask.
If it can be bended, it must be the same.
Can you bend sand?
Yes.
Yes, it's rough, it's coarse, it's irritating, and it gets everywhere.
No, but can you bend it?
No, stop. Deceased.
Yeah, it's when they went to the Grand Library.
Can you? I need to know if you can bend sand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Roll on the table.
Oh, you're gonna destroy the whole library now, aren't you?
Well,
I don't think I have anything that destroys stuff.
There's one that explodes.
Oh, okay. Don't give me a 2. Oh.
Oh.
Oh
Okay
no!
then.
What'd you just say? Don't get what?
So,
I saw a 2 and I was scared, and then it came up as 0, and I was like, "Oh, I'm okay." Oh no, wait, that's worse.
as you see,
So-
Shit.
Actually, here.
you don't really hear anything. Jakova might see this if the door's still open, and Osiris is probably there with you, so you could see. You see as Christine gets taller,
Have a look at my future, baby.
more buxom. Her skin turns into this very lilac-y color. Large devilish wings sprig out from behind her, and these horns, almost like a crown, that curves up from her forehead.
Why did it when the
appear.
bleeder's not here?
And a large tail with a barbed, like an anime barb at the end of it.
So that happens.
That happens.
Yeah, Cyrus and Jacoby. Judas, you're currently looking elsewhere. That happens. Christine, I'm not even sure you notice it happen.
No, I wouldn't. There's no way in hell.
Like
I
last
feel
time.
I think there would be a sort of thing like the trigger for it would probably just be like trying to think of hours and just getting caught up in like, what the fuck am I doing? Like,
Yeah, it's like you just kind of go in this like dark spiral mentally.
yeah.
You just caught in this like a mental like dark spiral where you just think about what brought you here. Why are you wasting your time doing this? There's other things you could be doing. Why are you even in this situation? Like, you don't like Judas. Why are you wasting your time helping
Or
him?
Chikura.
Yeah. Why would you help those assholes?
Yeah, and it's just sort of like she doesn't move from her spot because she's not gonna fucking go anywhere. Like, where's she gonna fucking go?
And after a
So,
minute,
Cyrus and Jakova, what do you do in relation to this?
So I assume see this at the corner of my eye, and I'm like, "What the fuck is that?" Oh fuck. And he just goes like through his head like, "Okay, yeah, we kind of already know that. That's a lot more than we already know. Not in the place that we are. Not what we're doing. Oh shit. Oh fuck." And he'll
knew
cast
of-
major image at you.
You
And
knew
it
of
is just
the other side.
a
this
dark
one.
cylinder in reality of where you are.
Just like a circle around her of darkness.
Yeah, it's like effectively darkness is made, but it's just an illusion,
Yeah,
so people can't see.
as you're like walking around, you're just like, why am I even here? This is so fucking stupid. I don't want to be here. And all these like dark thoughts start appearing. They just seem to like manifest literally in front of you as darkness seems to enclose you.
Like the whole room you're in fades away into this pitch, like nearly black surrounding.
Oh fuck.
Either that, or it's the like the Gmod texture not recognized purple shit.
No, don't give me that. That's confusing.
So, and Jakova, what's your reaction to this?
I'm not being blamed for 2 fucking nights here.
It's funny, as you think that, you hear a sudden scuffing of boots. And coming back down the hallway, the scribe who said he was here to lock back up when you were done is just stopped between the 2 doors, like they're looking at this, like, not sphere, but like column of just black energy.
Are there any paladins in the rooms at the moment?
Yes, I am. What seems to... Oh, what the hell is this thing?
We need to go, Osiris.
Can I smack Judas on the way past
Yes.
and just go?
You see as 2 other paladins dressed in, not in full armor, they're in like half plate sort of deal as they
God.
exit the rooms. Like, what seems to be the... What?
I can't.
So,
And-
apologies. This is my doing. Sorry,
Then you
my
see
friend.
two eyes appear on their foreheads.
Oh, fuck.
Oh.
Fiend!
Can they divine sense and technically find out Motherfiend?
No, that's what they did.
Fiendish ancestry. You guys, yeah, they basically everyone except Christine watches as these two both very obvious. You see Judas do it. Both use divine sense, and immediately, yeah, their reaction is like Fiend. One of them literally reaches down and draw like for a weapon, realizes he's got nothing at his hip, and like starts looking around. The other one turns and starts to like, you can say like he's about to start moving up the corridor away from you guys.
No.
Do we have a chance to do one last thing?
Yep.
I don't know if this is gonna work. Can I, because I see that as my illusion, can I look through it and see what Christine is and cast Dispel Magic at her?
I'll certainly try.
I would
absolutely
like to try. I'll burn my last 3rd level spell slot to try and nip this in the bud.
Can I use my movement to like literally jump past them?
You can, yeah.
Jump past the
Block
party or
fucking
the
away?
paladin.
You see one like steps into the room on the right, and the other's running back down the hallway. He's grabbed the scribe as well and starts pulling him back.
At this point, do I notice anything? Like,
Yeah, you heard.
Probably hear the shadow.
Yeah,
fiend.
yeah.
Three-
Hearing that, and then like everything happening, I'm just gonna probably notice the tail.
Yeah, you look down. It's like, what are they? And you see that your skin is pink. You have a tail now,
And as you turn to react to them, your wings hit the wall.
9.
and burst out because it's just an
Quickly dash all
illusion.
the way.
Gotta love my bat wings. Thank you, Grandma. Thank
See,
you,
the-
Grandma.
Jakova, you're basically chasing after the other paladin.
More if I can get in front of them, I will and try to quell them. But if not, I'm gonna make it look like I'm running away.
Yeah, for now, it's like their reaction is similar to yours. You're both heading the same direction. So Osiris, you're gonna dispel magic at Christine,
Yeah, I want to see if I can dispel whatever this is.
and Judas, what are you doing?
I divine sensed. I sensed the fiend, didn't I?
Yes.
Yeah, if you divine sense, you also sense the fiend.
I wouldn't know this is Christine, would I?
You
Nope, it's up to you.
technically
No.
no.
It's
I
a
mean,
black
like,
cylinder. Until
mean,
Jakova
yeah.
drops it, it's a black cylinder.
I
Sorry.
smacked you and went, so you take that for what it is.
What a session.
I saw her.
sorry.
too. I would make a
fucking-
wisdom check
Go ahead.
to
Sure.
see if I am. Oh, this is that. Okay.
The problem is that you.
Don't.
I
No.
don't know even if like how much of me still looks like me. Like
Your figure is the same. Oh no, it's not because you became a buxom.
Not gonna lie, Christine, you look like a
different.
succubus.
You look like a
yeah.
succubus. That's
What about
entirely
like
different.
hair and face though?
The hair's
Your
still
hair
there.
is still red.
Yeah.
Your face is still your face, except your eyes are like the way they are. Your skin is freaking pink.
Yeah, that's
And
what
you
I
have
shit.
two giant, like, crown-like horns.
I like the horns though.
You also have, like, it seems like lipstick on. Like, your
Oh,
lips
sweet.
are, like, darker. Like, the eyeshadow that you had around them is, like, you still have, like, the lilac of, like, the
Wait,
eyes
hold on.
is now
I
your
just-
entire body, but now it's, like, a
I-
darker purple around that.
I just realized something.
What?
They're standing within 5 feet of me, aren't they?
Yes.
Okay. When she ends her turn near a creature within 5 feet of her, needs to make a wisdom saving throw against a spell save DC of each charm by until the next turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both of you roll a wisdom saving throw.
Oh,
Technically, Osiris gets advantage because it's mine also.
Yes, it would
I
be.
also get advantage with this charm effect.
Yes, it
Go
is.
for it, yeah.
that's...
16 you need to beat.
Oh,
And nope.
Oh,
So the both of you turn to react. Osiris, you go to dispel the magic, and as you raise your hand to do so, you're like, why would I dispel this?
making
It's
me
beautiful.
myself look
And Judas, you're just like, I don't even know what you're thinking. Your brain is like, part of you is like, oh, there's a fiend in there. Ah, but they seem nice.
And probably at this point, I'd like step out a little bit and you'd realize it's me in that sense.
I feel like it's a good time to end the session, though.
Yeah. I think it's a
Yeah.
fun time to pick it up. Start the next session.
That's just gonna kill me.
I think it's a good time to end the session here.
That's a good time to end the session.
I've got something I could do.
Things were going so well, and I thought Judas would be the one to fuck everything up.
You know, Kimmy can't resist rolling on the table because, I mean, nothing bad will happen.
Kimmy, if you're responsible for me having to burn down a place again,
Screw it up. It's just fucking getting yourself killed right there.
No, that's a literally 50%, like not 50. There's only a 2% chance of happening. Like, what the fuck?
Yep.
Yeah.
that's still
You've
2%
had
too
you've
high.
had 2% chances that would have happened today.
I don't know.
So we gotta think of things, AJ, because that
It's been a
accelerates
month.
things again.
Yeah.
It's been a month.
So I'll point out, on the sinful half of the table, this is probably the worst option. There's one that makes things that explode. That would also be pretty bad.
Yeah, it would have been.
I could have talked my way out of that. I can't talk my way out of 3 paladins seeing a fiend.
I could
In
talk my
that
way
home
out of the
that we
explosion
brought
as
in.
well.
There's
Like-
one that makes her small. That wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah, well, that would have been dumb, but sure. Like,
Oh,
some of the
Calamity
damage...
would have been pretty horrible.
Been fine.
I don't know what Calamity... What's Calamity?
Calamity's pretty bad. You wait till it happens.
I really don't want to look at the table
I
because I don't know
wanted
half the
to.
effects.
You'll wait.
Holy shit!
What?
42, and then a 2.
Yeah.
No.
And then you're banking on another 42.
41, 42, 2 were your last 3 rolls. And you've stopped anyone from helping you as well.
Would my tactic have worked?
We don't know, man.
You know
I don't
what?
know.
I'm not gonna answer you.
Because
I know
Find out next time.
if I
Hey
get-
guys, by the way, I get my Tides of Chaos back.
Yeah, you do.
Use it again. I'll
Oh yeah, sure, here
have
you
an
go.
aneurysm.
There
AJ,
you go,
I
I'll roll
thought
again.
I thought something bad was gonna happen when they came here without any plan at all.
Yes, have that
Stop,
happen.
stop taking me to the plains.
I didn't. Out of all the things I thought could happen, Jacob being recognized was one of them. Judas somehow outing them immediately was another one.
Almost
You
that one.
didn't do that though.
Nearly
No,
did,
you
actually.
didn't do it completely.
I just
Fiend
subbed out my
turning into a
partners.
fiend was not one of the ones I was thinking about.
I
And
mean,
it
why would
just-
you?
It just happened to be at the time where, like, you have time for one action, and then he returns, and you did your one action.
Yeah, I
and then
did.
you transformed. He
I did.
returned.
Yeah.
I feel a little bad because I made a roll for petty reasons, but I'm happy that I did.
Oh no, you're fine. I did. I encourage this shit. Go for it.
It was a little matter of Kim, shut up. Kim, roll on the table.
You know
You're trying
what?
to shoot me convicted.
See, what you did is better than what I was going to do.
What were you gonna do?
I was going to wait until you were around paladins to make you roll.
Oh.
And then you would have rolled a 2, and they wouldn't have had Osiris having a chance to block your vision.
Yeah.
But that was a lot this session. There was the
Stop bringing
42
Kimmy places.
at the start. There was the lore dump, that is what happened to... Well, not really a lore dump, just the trans-dimensional thing that happened to Jakova. There's the thing that, hey, her dad is sick now. That's weird.
Technically, my dad.
No one cares about your
Yeah.
dad.
I mean, I
you
don't
can have
know.
that.
Your dad's dead.
There was the lore
Father's a great
information
person.
about what happened to the church and the people that Jakova might have killed.
Might have. We don't know anymore, and I'm fucking confused.
And in this is a fun session.
Hey, this lasts for a minute, just in case people need to know.
I kind of like the idea that Jakova, that was the first time you went into a rage. Where that happened.
Actually would have been, yeah.
In which case, like, you don't remember everything that happened here. Like, this is you piecing together the events yourself as well from
That
very
was kind of the
fuzzy,
plan,
hazy
honestly.
memories.
Oh, technically, I do have to make a concentration check on this. Oh well, fuck it.
Well, that's been me. I've been Skyflourish. I didn't do a full introduction, even though it's been a month. But we have we have co-GM Tamara Reveng.
Hello.
We have players Tez, who had to leave because sleep. That's a good thing.
I'm gonna do this real quick.
And player Jeremy, and then player Kimberly, who all don't have stuff to plug, so they go now. And then we have player Snock Skyfall, who's streaming.
Yeah.
What are you streaming? When are you
Well,
streaming?
tomorrow I'm streaming Ruins of Rosia. I've been recently streaming Yakuza 0 whenever I get a chance this week. Not sure if I have a set date to stream during the week, but I'll let you know if there is.
We need to fix your mic.
We do, but
Yeah.
I don't know what happened between like an hour ago and now, but
Yeah.
something went weird.
Either
It sounds like your bass boosted and not in the good way.
You should
my
Oh.
gain and my input are the slowest.
something weird happened.
Might be a connection
Yeah.
issue.
You probably might need you might need a new cable or just buy a new mouse. Buy a new mic. Probably the smartest thing. But that's you. There's also Zisera or Mim. She was she also had to leave, but she was Stremblin yesterday, I think, or the day before.
Yeah, it was yesterday.
I don't remember, but I know that she's a bit sporadic at the moment with streams. We'll check her out whenever she's there. And we have Snowfox AU as the last player.
I'm going mad.
Do you have stuff to plug other than going mad?
I'm just I fear Cassandra Classic. She's trying to kill me.
Oh no. Oh no.
She's
Rimworld
trying
be
to
like
take my
that.
damn columnist. Yeah.
And I'm Skyflourish. I'm the other GM of the game. If you don't know about this, I don't know why you're here.
What the fuck happened?
Tomorrow,
Next week, AJ.
tomorrow I'm playing Hollow Knight. It's gonna be fun. Next week we have 2 new games again somehow. We're playing Borderlands. We don't have a series name for it. It might just be called Borderlands. Who knows? But me, Darian, Kimmy, and our friend Ethan are gonna go play through Borderlands 1. And we're not gonna all pick Phoenix because that will be an easy game.
Yeah.
Wednesday, me and Kim told me it's gonna take 2 weeks to beat Kingdom Hearts, and then I fucking total danced him like the Chad I am, and now we're playing Chain of Memories, and apparently Kim doesn't like that game very much.
If you like Yu-Gi-Oh, it's not Yu-Gi-Oh, but it involves cards, so it's the same.
Kim is gonna suffer, and I'm also going to suffer.
I will actually be suffering with you this time.
And Thursday is more Pokemon, Moemon Nuzlocke. I had a good rolls. I got a fucking Trico. I love Trico. One of my favorite starters. Happy. But the Trico was in the same route as Bulbasaur. Very upset. I like both of them. And next week is Gamma P. Fuck. Oh, shit.
Ah,
Damn. Fuck. Oh, God.
You guys have written, right?
Yeah.
I haven't written my backstory properly yet.
Right,
Fuck.
backstory. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got the update. It's so exciting.
But Gamma P is a mini campaign that will be lasting anywhere between 6 and 8 sessions, hopefully. In the world of this world, we don't actually have a planet name of this world yet. We've got the continent. We don't have the planet because we don't think
Just
that
call it
far ahead.
Voneutia. Just go for the continent.
We're in the Venusian world, where these people are at Ghislaine Academy. A couple weeks before these guys are at now. We're gonna find out. Maybe the king being sick will be in that part. We'll find out.
Our fault.
I get to learn things that I can't use.
Yeah, it's gonna be so annoying for both you and Jeremy. You're gonna find out so much shit and then be like, "Fuck, I don't know this."
I think like part of me is kind of like, oh, how much shit can I know before like Des does? It's like, ooh.
Well, hey,
But that's that.
You've already been spoiled on one fun thing. Who knows what else we'll find out?
Exactly.
What did they get spilled?
Sign us out.
Yeah, we're done. Sorry, this is scuffed. As always on this channel. We'll catch you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Oh, OBS worked. That was a positive. I fixed OBS maybe. Yay.
Yay.